Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The leeway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair on them is veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the odds wanna murder, I got a feeling, deep my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost see, I glossed to it, shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the feds, giving names. Who gon' feed my family if they take me out the game? Keep one in the head and one eye open, that ain't change. I'm quick to catch a body. When I shoot, he shoot, I know bro shooting right beside me. Them hollow tips go through the wall and then they hit his body.
Niggas died at 65.
Yeah. Hey man, all I'm saying is, nigga, you always got something to say. It's like you don't shut up.
Blazing on the track.
A lot of niggas died 1865. Single Michael fled high, I ain't gon' let it ride. Everybody hot and black was never on your side. They do maps to tell your apps where you sleep at night. They put that white man on. Got you begging them for answers like that white man know. Had you swearing you was African, that's that white man home. Had you proud to be a savage, that's that white man's zone. And I ain't talking shit, this by definition. And being savage was our nation, y'all be non-existent. We done took your ass out when we was in them kitchens. Instead of showing you how to live and how to maintain business. White supremacy fake. Only way that shit real is if you do what they say. for the blacks and John Doe's. Crack open them land patents, let go of them townhomes. What's a native to a native? Eat $5 dough if he not melanated. Pale faces got you waiting on a savior. Sending prayers up, he texting back on vacation. Yeah, God's children. Give all your praise to Jesus, but how God feeling? He say put no one before him in divine image. It's you with God and Christians. I got a vision, but niggas ain't gotta listen, so they don't. We came from the soil, wasn't fucking with no boats. Bible took our spirit, English potted on our homes. Tribal families turned on us, don't act like y'all don't know. But fuck them and they grudges. We was something turned to nothing. And now we nothing's turned to somethings. Reincarnation of ancients, fresh up out the oven. This the message to the black man. 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 Shooters on my roof, lawyers in the coop. We can never die, bitch, we bulletproof. This the message to the black man. This the message to the black man. Say you wasn't slaves, you was prisoners of war. You stop wasting your time, these other bitches ain't important. You ain't meditating, you ain't mating with the sauce. Like what the fuck's a noodle if you ain't painted with the sauce? I find it hard to trust the pastor who rather side with the master, who preaching we should submit while getting murdered and captured. About how we should wait on God is never our vernacular. They get
Suave on the track.
Whatever it takes. The alleyway.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, hit my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, hit my stomach, paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with perky, now that hair run up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I won't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid, yeah. I can't let them, yeah. They won't see me, yeah.
Lost see, I glossed to, we shit ain't been the same. Heard the ops talking to the.
Shout out to everybody in the fucking chat, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. How's everybody feeling this Grand Rising? How's everybody feeling this Grand Rising, man? Shout out to everybody in the building, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. Hopefully everybody's enjoying their Grand Rising. Shout out to everybody tuning in to the live stream that's not able to comment, that is working, traveling, doing their daily commute. Appreciate y'all for tapping in and listening, man. Make sure y'all be safe while y'all move around. I also want to shout out and take the time out to shout out some of the brothers and sisters in the chat that took their time out to comment. So let me shout out some of the brothers and sisters in the chat. All right, we got Kingdom of English. Shout out to you. Shout out to General Peace, Chief Jonesy, True One. We also have Rich Rising in the building, God Mama, Gretchen Hams, the beautiful Gretchen Hams, Unconscious Goddess, Pop Reed, Your Massey Ton, Cool Face, Big Chief Noble, M. Jones, American Aborigine, Albo Indian, Leonidas, Ladariel Quintez, a Supreme Chieftain, Yvonne Shishi, what up, Shishi? Ghetto Child, Snake God, Rob McCoy, and Wax On, Never Off. Also, shout out Truthful and No More Lies, or no More Lies, More Truth, or some shit. More Truth, More Lies. My bad, I fucked up. Players fuck up. Shout out to Daz Hosen as well. Shout out to Daz Hosen, Drake Cobb Music, Janetta Abdullah. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to C. Roberts in the fucking building, man. Y'all know the fucking vibes, man. Make sure y'all hit the like button, thumb up the video. This is the Wake and Bake Show. So let me know what city and what state y'all are in currently watching this live stream. Let me know in the chat, man. Talk to me. This is the Wake and Bake Show. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you enjoyed the live stream already, hit the notification bell. You know what I mean? So you can get all your latest updates. You know what I mean? Notifications to the live stream. So this your brother Aboriginal Power, man. What's the vibes like, man? What's up with it? Y'all know this is the part of the segment where we light up the woods. Let's see what we got going on. Light up your woods. All right, fire in the hole, man. We ready to get it cracking, man. How y'all feeling out there this Grand Rising? We ready to get straight to the information, man. This is gonna be a fire-ass live stream. I was supposed to get to it yesterday, but y'all didn't allow me to get to it. I want to have that conversation, which I'm still going, we're gonna have that conversation with y'all today, man, because I was actually enjoying the conversation with y'all yesterday, talking about how people coming over here gravitating to the Aboriginal movement, clicking up, even acknowledging themselves as Indian or Aboriginal, but not quite understanding the information, putting out false information, using insert and artificial information that white people have obviously inserted and that they constructed during the Reconstruction period. If we can get a few people to support the channel, that'll be perfect. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom right of the screen, and it's ticking across at the bottom of the screen. If you're not following me on Instagram, that's at the bottom left of the screen. It's at the bottom left of the screen. You know what I'm saying? It's at the bottom left. Make sure y'all support the channel. All right. Support the channel. All right, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all already know the vibes. Your brother Aboriginal Power. Where y'all at this Grand Rising? Let me see where y'all at. Let me shout out some cities in here, man. Texas in the building. Shout out to the young sister from Texas. Who else we got in here? We got Minneapolis, DC in the building. Cushman's in the building. Kansas City in the building. Hey, Zara, I'm glad you got to catch a live stream too. I'm glad you in here. Good to see you in here. Make sure y'all share the live stream. Make sure y'all share the live stream. I just want to ask y'all, do y'all even care if I even show my face on camera? Because I can go back to just doing a regular way. I just thought I wanted to give y'all more of an intimate setting. I mean, y'all get to see Big Ab in action. I mean, y'all get to react, see my reaction. You know what I'm saying? How y'all feeling? We got Cedar Rapids, Ohio, Arizona in the building. Yeah, North Carolina in the building. That's what's up, man. Shout out to Philly. Philly in the building, man. Y'all see we in the building, man. Tennessee, Philly, Delaware in the building. Glenwood Bay County, Florida. That's what's up. So, yeah, man, that's all we want to do, man. And listen, I want to support, I want to show off the shirt, man. This asteroid brand, man. Make sure y'all fuck with the asteroid brand. If you ain't fucking with my brother Harline Hefe, make sure y'all go shop. You ask me what I'm smoking on. We smoking on asteroid right now. There's some asteroids. Make sure y'all go support my brother, man, with the asteroid brand, especially y'all out there on the West Coast. Shout out to LA in the building, Fort Lauderdale in the building, VA in the building, Jersey in the building. All right, we lit. Nice to see the person talking to you sometime. I know that, but y'all done seen me before. Don't act like I just be, you know what I mean, secluded, like y'all never seen my face. I get on Instagram all the time and I pop my shit. But I guess don't nobody follow me on Instagram, so y'all don't get to see me pop my shit. Shout out to Minneapolis in the building, Boston, Wichita, Kansas as well. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Like I said, I go live showing my face all the time, just on Instagram. Y'all don't follow me on Instagram, so y'all don't get to see the shit I be, you know what I mean? Shout out to the DMV, man. A picture not the same. You right, a picture is not the same. But like I said, on Instagram, I show my face. You know what I'm saying? I'm constantly showing my face, my surroundings. So if you ain't following me on Instagram, make sure y'all go follow me on Instagram, man. If you ain't shopping with weare2am.com, make sure y'all go shop with weare2am.com. All right, weare2am.com. Make sure y'all go shop, get you some merch. Shout out to my nigga Trap Moses, man. South Carolina in the building. Cleveland in the building. Can we get some fire emojis in the chat? We lit. We got the whole United States covered from East, West, South, Central, and the conjoining islands. Goddamn. We got it lit, man. The voice of the Aborigines is here, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power, man. Y'all know what's up. So, yeah, man. What's up with this shit, man? Like, y'all ready? Y'all ready for a powwow? I told y'all Sister Betty got a powwow get together going down. Make sure y'all go support her in South Carolina. I am going to try to make that trip. So for those that's interested in making that trip, go ahead and make it. You probably going to see me there. We can lock in. We can conversate. We can chop it up. You know what I mean? Y'all get to build with big Aboriginal power. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's going to be a dope outcome. A lot of people been addressing the issues in the community, man. Like I said, I've been trying to stay far away from the negative connotations because I'm going to keep it real. An honest person is a villain in a land full of lies. That's the slogan for the day. An honest person becomes a villain in a land full of lies. And so what that means is when everybody else is indoctrinated and going with the flow, I'm going against the grain, telling the truth. I'm honest about how I feel. And a lot of people make it seem like I'm the villain. A lot of people like it seem like I'm the negative connotation. But listen, at the end of the day, I'm the only one that's gonna keep it real with you niggas, man. You see what I'm saying? Not the only one, but y'all know what I mean. So that's what happens, man. So at the end of the day, I'm willing to take on whatever road that comes to me, man. But we here to tell the truth. So often you guys get looked at it by other communities as the bad guy. Y'all get looked at as the one who's starting the trouble, one who's starting this the fake narratives, who's trying to rewrite history. No, we're trying to tell you the honest opinion about history. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, the villains are the honest people are the villains in a land full of lies, and that's where we're at right now with it. You feel what I'm saying? You know the quote that we hit y'all with yesterday. The quote was, they try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds. I'm going to say it again. They try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds. And look how much growth and development we done came with so far. You understand me? So, hey, man, I'm here to just elevate the people, man. This is what I do, man. I do this shit for free, man. We appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the support, but listen, we got to have some people to support. It seemed like the love be so fake and the hate be so real. Y'all got to support the real, man. Y'all got to hate that fake shit. We got to switch the narrative. We got to bring back moral codes and ethics back into our own personal walkings. We got to start taking pride in shit that we do. And this one thing that I take pride in, this platform that we done help grow. And I appreciate y'all for helping it grow. Without y'all, wouldn't be shit. You see what I'm saying? So shout out to y'all. I do want to kind of get into some information. Before we get into the information, I want to shout out to everybody in the building. And once again, drop them fire emojis. And let's get straight to it, man. Let's get straight to it. If y'all ready, man, hit that like button, thumb up the video, support the channel.
That's been threatening to me.
My bad, y'all. Players fuck up. My bad. I forgot to hit the unmute button. My bad. My bad. Hit the wood. Shut up now. I'm gone. Hit the wood now. It's ready. We good.
I firmly believe there would be no mysteries in history if we'd been told the true history. and I have found compelling physical evidence for the layout of the Earth's grid system and a suppressed global civilization. I started becoming aware of anomalies in the environment around me from a young age, so I really believe I was born to do this work. I grew up on a street next to a golf course, and I believe that where the house was on top of a flat-topped pyramid. And one of my first ahas in uncovering this was back in around 2014, somewhere in there, that I realized that golf courses are a cover-up of mound sites. And then I realized there was a cover-up of, this cover-up was, there were key words calling them natural features, and they weren't. Canyons, the whole 9 yards, mesas, rivers even, or canals. Rivers are canals. And this is all to hide everything in plain sight. And I had that realization when I got a map from Brother Umar.
Hey, maps, she just said that rivers are canals. And canals was a rapid highway. It was a water highway of transportation. A lot of our old towns had creeks and canals in it where you could travel through. You see what I'm saying? That's
his site is hotep.org. I'm sorry, and then there's another website that I think it might be washita.org or something like that. And I got the map, and I noticed that there were mounds at Jekyll Island off the coast of Georgia. And so this is early in my research, early in my investigations. I looked up Jekyll Island.
How many of y'all went to Jekyll Island before? Y'all went to Jekyll Island? If y'all in Georgia and y'all want something to do for this weekend, book a trip with the family, go to Jekyll Island, look at the mounds, gather some of that connected energy that your ancestors left there for us to use. You see what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the building. Thumb up the video. Support the channel. It's your brother, Original Power, man. This is the Wake and Bake Show. Let's go.
Islands, and nor do I see the Jekyll Islands Indian Mounds golf course. And of course, Jekyll Island became a hotspot for the wealthy, and that's where the Federal Reserve was formed. So I'm starting to realize that there's so much more to all of this. I had read somewhere, Newark Mounds Golf Course in Ohio is a special place. The Octagon and Great Circle earthworks at Newark are located on a golden ratio longitude, along with other sites like Poverty.
Remember, we did a whole build on, fucking build on Newark. They got one of the largest man-made earthwork structures in the world. It's over 52 miles long, and they got it disguised, like she said, as a fucking golf course. It's one of the largest Indian mounds. It's one of the largest earthworks, man-made earthworks in the world, larger than anything in the planet. It's 52 miles long. Pause. Do you see what I'm saying? We just did a build on Newark, Ohio, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's continue the live stream.
Point in Louisiana and Petrocomic. The Great Circle earthworks at Newark are located on a golden ratio longitude, along with other sites like Poverty Point in Louisiana and Petrocomic in Peru and Tiwanaku in Bolivia. And I had watched a video by a researcher named Carl Monk, who's a mathematician. His videos are very dry, but really interesting. And he has a series of videos called The Code. And he was able.
And she got the nerve to say somebody else shit dry. Michelle, cut that bullshit out. You know you dry than a Weird Eyes commercial, dude. But I love your information, Michelle Gibson. Shout out to Michelle Gibson, man. I would love to get this sister on the platform to drop some heat, because I have some questions. Everybody had their own line. I got my own set of questions for Sister Michelle. Sister Michelle put you to sleep. Don't listen to Sister Michelle at night. Your ass gonna go to sleep, man. You gotta listen to her on a wake and bake. You know what I'm saying? Let go.
Monk, who's a mathematician. His videos are very dry, but really interesting. And he has a series of videos called The Code. And he was able to find that there's a correlation between Stonehenge in Newark, and other sacred sites on the planet. And all their dimensions are encoded in their longitude and latitude, and then they correlate with other places. I mean, it's just this incredibly precise pyramid grid system that the Great Pyramid in Giza is like the centerpiece of this code system, and everything kind of tracks off of that. So anyway,
not a coincidence. It's a figure of speech, brother. You ain't got to be so literal, my brother. I say that to the Arabs at the store. What's up, my brother? Them ain't my motherfucking brothers. So it's a figure of speech. You know what I'm saying? Don't take it so literal, brother. Not a coincidence. Come on now. You're talking to Big Al.
Anyway, Newark Mounds was turned into a golf course. And so it's like building a golf course on Stonehenge. And you know, there's just so many ways that all of this ancient infrastructure has been degraded or reverse engineered into a control system. And I'll get into that more later on. The enormity of what's taken place is very disturbing, and that's to say the least. But I'm going to share my journey about how I came into my awareness of all of this. When I was a child, around 7 or 8 years old, my dad played for the church softball team, and I wasn't really interested in that. So I would go down the hill into the woods besides the softball field, and I found really large stones down there. And it was fun to play in them. And now that I look back on it in retrospect, that would have been a remainder of the ancient civilization. And these big stones are lying around randomly all over the place. There's really no place that you can't find them if you really start tuning into them and looking for them, especially parks. But I've seen them just along the road and by the sidewalk. So they don't bring our attention to it, and people walk by them and don't even see them or think they're natural, but they're shaped and cut. And then these big stones that I remember from my childhood were in Rock Creek Park. It was part of Rock Creek Park outside of Washington, D.C. And you find rock and stone in a lot of place names and city names. And again, they're telling us something. Mm-hmm. That's another thing. So I was introduced to sacred geometry and the concept of an intentional grid system all over the earth through Drunvalo Melchizedek, starting around 2007, and I was living in Fairbanks, Alaska at the time. Drunvalo mentions a physical.
Hey, is this the same lady? Is this the same lady that knew a world? Never mind. This ain't the lady from. Never mind, man. Let's just continue, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. If y'all can hear and see everything loud and clear, can I get everybody in the chat to drop a fire emoji? Shout out to my brother Akeem T, man. Shout out to Akeem T, man. Y'all know I'm on a good coffee. I bet y'all can't guess what blend of coffee I got. I know y'all can't guess. Bet y'all can't guess what blend of coffee I got. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Make sure y'all drop a fire emoji in the chat. If y'all enjoying the live stream, support the channel. Cash App and PayPal information is ticking across at the bottom of the screen, man. Let's get it, man.
Earth Grid in his 2010 video, Birth of a New Humanity. And he said that was the result of one mind and one plan. One plan.
Yo, this nigga Rob McCoy is a psychic. That's the second time I'd have asked some shit. And that nigga be knowing, man. Shout out to my nigga Rob McCoy, man. You got that one right, man. Damn, you good with it, bro. You a good nigga with that one. Hey, cuz you got it right too, Jada Foreman. It's Ethiopian blend hazelnut. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty fucking good. Pretty fucking good. I need some I'll fuck around, get some CBD coffee. Somebody said laugh out loud, she a witch. Hey, y'all be nice to Michelle.
And with the Great Pyramid at the center of the Earth's landmass being its prime meridian. And at the time I remember thinking, wow, that sounds great, but who built that? And then around 2015 was when I figured out that anything like I said, with rock or stone in it, is part of a cover-up code. And then words like bluff, a bluff is a bluff. Escarpment, anything with the word natural in it, natural steps, natural springs, natural falls is a clue. And then that same year, I realized national, state, and local parks were places where the ancient civilization is preserved. So starting at parks by state, I looked at them and I found megalithic stone walls, falls, mills, canals, and so forth. So that was the beginning of my processes of learning, uncovering this information.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. Here we go. I started learning about the Moors after I met a Moorish American man in 2013. He and I both attended the Unity Spiritual Life Center in Oklahoma City. And he brought the piece about the Moors into my life. I had a real life Moor to show me who the Moors are. Very beautiful being, high level, high consciousness.
Root words. Did she talk about you, Root? Root, she said she learned from a good Moor. You know what I mean? Was it Root? Root, you said you got a number, Root. Let me find out Root changed this lady life, nigga. Root for vice president, goddamn.
Loving person. And he would send me information about the Moors. He would send me videos with Bobby Hemmett and Sister Roz Bay and Sister Yapa Bay and others as well. And I was really interested in learning the truth.
Nah, Root words. She said she learned from a Moor. You got to listen to it. Listen.
High consciousness, loving person. And he would send me information about the Moors. He would send me videos with Bobby Hemmett and Sister Roz Bay and Sister Yapa Bay and others as well. And I was really interested in learning the truth. He and I and several other friends visited places like parks and lakes in Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Louisiana. And I started to receive confirmation of what I was receiving by physically being at these places. And I started to wake up to all of this when I was living in Oklahoma between 2012 and 2016. And had I not had a Moor in my life, I doubt very much I would have gotten the whole picture. I was interested in.
Hey, Root, word on the street. This your ex-girlfriend, fam. I heard this through the grapevine. Root words. Albo Indian, MSTA, African versus Black Moor. I heard this your ex-girlfriend.
Megaliths. I was interested in, hidden history. Without a Moor, I would not have been able to put the puzzle together. And once I had the piece about the Moors and the Moorish paradigm, everything made sense. And without that piece, somebody could be doing great research, but they're working from a false paradigm and they're just scratching their heads because they don't get it. And you have the ancient aliens and all that kind of stuff. And I'm grateful that Ancient Aliens is getting some information out to the public, because if it was called Ancient Humans, it would have been canceled a long time ago. So at least it's concepts out there, but it still misdirects away from Earth's true history and humanity's true history. One of the friends that I traveled with, so was my friend Osiris, and then two European ladies. One of the European ladies gave me a map of North America. And this is after we had traveled to places like Red Rock Canyon outside of Oklahoma City. We went to Dealey Plaza in Dallas on our way to Rockwall. And nobody in
man, this bill just now getting cracking, man. We ain't even really got started. We just getting through the intro. I need everybody to hit the like button. If you support the channel, if you enjoying the live stream, support the channel, man. Support the channel. You got to support the real, man. Like, it's very important for you guys to support the real. Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Drop them fire emoji. Let's try to get 300 people in here. Let's work on getting 200 in here. If we get everybody to share the live stream at least one time, we can get 300 people in this live stream. So let's at least work on trying to get one person, you know what I'm saying, in the live stream a piece. Let's try to get 200 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the building. Peace and blessings to everybody out there, man. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. Let's continue to live stream.
Rockwall knows anything about the ancient Rockwall that's there, but I heard about it from other researchers. And so when I was at Dealey Plaza, up until that time, I didn't have any awareness of Freemasonry really and what that was all about. And I had learned some things about Moorish Masons from my friend Osiris. But when we went down to Dealey Plaza and saw how the layout was, with the book depository on one corner, the jail where Harvey was shot right next to that, and then the place where Ruby was shot right next to that, all close together. I mean, it was like claustrophobic. and from that point on, I started looking up information, and that was when I learned about the evil that is in Freemasonry. And that everything is based on a subversion of the original beautiful, positive Moorish civilization. The evil ones that came in just subverted and suppressed and twisted everything and turned everything into control mechanisms. You know, fragmented things, split it up. You know, gave us organized religions, and you know, they had this very elaborate plan on how they were going to divide us and take us down and get control over everything. Same playbook. I mean, we've all been manipulated and lied to. And so now we're living in the time of reawakening minds. So thank you for your show. And there are so many truths that need to get back out into the light of day, so we can heal together. Because of the unfathomable number of crimes against humanity that have taken place. And I think it's been in the last couple of 100 years. And I'll go into why I think that. But I want to, I see a comment said they had contact with aliens. I believe there was a relationship between the Earth's population and galactic population.
Man, I don't want to hear that alien motherfucking bullshit. Flat the fuck out.
And taking control over everything, including our souls. So some of that could have come from dark tech, but I'm kind of piecing together some things I've picked up over the years. So all I know is it got really bad down here, and we're seeing that play out. And I'm an optimist. I think we're entering the age of Aquarius. I don't, and they're exposed. Mm-hmm. They're more exposed than they've ever been, and I think when we get through this period of time, I think things are going to be better on the other side. But a lot of it, and thank goodness for the internet, because we can connect and bypass things like mainstream news and news sources, and you know, there's other ways of connecting with each other now. So I'm not of the mind that the beings behind this are going to get away with it. I think they're going to be held accountable.
So when you say beings, are we talking reptilians, or we're talking? I know we talked about, you mentioned archons when we when we were, before we came live. So archons and reptilians, we've been hearing that, and there are some that say that those are just covers for maybe more advanced Moorish, beings that were here first. What is your take on that based on your research?
I think the Moorish civilization was doing just fine for a very long time, far longer than we've been told. Thousands of years, millions of years, far, far back in time. and that jealous beings, and Richard Smith calls it the vendetta, the ancient vendetta against the family of man by these negative factions, the reptilians and the Anunnaki and the I think the Archons are in there, and I think they figured out a way to hijack the Earth's grid system and take over everything. And I think this happened relatively recently. And I will talk about how I got to that place. But let me tell you about what my research is based on. So one of my travel friends gave me a map, and it was sitting on my dining room table. I don't know if I can get it up close. Anyway.
Yeah, right. You can pull it back a little bit. There, okay.
That better? Okay.
Yeah.
So I noticed that cities were lining up in lines while I was eating. And because I knew about sacred geometry, I was able to find a star tetrahedron by connecting the dots of major cities. And so the top apex of the tetrahedron is Edmonton, Alberta, and the bottom is Merida, Mexico. And then once I did that, I had to switch from a map to a globe so I could visualize the other side. I'm not a mathematician. I'm intuitive. And so I had studied alternative researchers and earth energy researchers long enough to know that the ancients were very precise with everything. And I can totally verify that. And I do think time travel is involved. And I'll talk about that too. Okay, so once I got that mapped onto a globe, I could see around to the other side. And from that, I've got about 19 spreadsheets of cities and places in alignment. And this is the basis of my research. And once I started, just before I started blogging, I would look up these places and I would see photographs and I would watch drone videos. I mean, I can tell you I saw hours and hours before I even started doing my own research. And I'm looking at everything and I'm thinking, everything's the same all over the earth. How am I going to show people what I'm seeing? Because I can't just tell you this. It's so much more compelling to show you this. And what's evolved is in many ways, my own experience of how I came into this. And then as I do the research, I never know exactly what I'm going to find, especially when I'm not familiar with the place that I'm looking at, which is most of them. But I always find what I'm looking for. It's always there. These characteristics are always there. And I just use the written word to show me where to look. And then when I write, it just flows. I mean, I swear I'm having help from the other side. But all I really have to do is focus my attention. And it's the easiest thing I've ever done. It's just time consuming. The research is time consuming.
It is.
But the work itself from,
like I said, I must say, man, this is very time consuming. No bullshit, man. This shit takes a lot of work. We put in a lot of work with this shit. Damn, why the screen should go off? We put in a lot of work for this shit, man. Real talk. And people don't even understand how much time goes into just putting out this information, man. Shout out to A1, man. Nigga been doing it twice as long as I have. Chief been doing it twice as long as I have. And I've got over 12,000 hours in already. I got about 12,000 hours in. Just giving it to y'all, man. Jaguar OMAC put out a lot of time, man. App TV put out a lot of, man, come on, man. I got over 12,000 hours in, man. What the fuck I could be doing with 12,000, nigga, 12,000 hours at anything I become a professional or a master at. 12,000 hours towards anything I become a master at. That's any business, any form, any fucking thing. You understand me? So a lot of us put in works to be able to get into these positions to elevate and bring this shit into with a, you know what I mean, with some type of off to it. You know what I mean? You got the work behind it. You don't put in enough man hours and research to speak on this. A lot of you guys ain't did enough work. You know what I mean? No offense. A lot of you ain't did no work, man. Let's continue the live stream. And shout out to everybody in the building. If you can see it, drop them fire emojis in the chat, man. Drop them fire emojis in the chat. If y'all enjoying the build, drop them fire emojis. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Let's go.
For me, it's very easy. And so starting in, I'll tell a little bit of a story here. Let me share. Can I share the screen?
Sure.
Okay, great.
You.
There we go.
Is that me doing?
I guess she
Okay, here we are.
Screen share shit. I ain't mad at her getting on her little screen share shit. That's what it's all about, man. Let's get to
all right. So my plan in my head was, once I was able to get everything organized, was that I was going to make one video and blog. And this was my first blog, my first blog post. And I really wanted to know the truth. And I think the universe said, okay, we have a live one. And it came in. I would go look at places and I would get information, and then it was like a co-creator process, and I would get more and more. You know, knowing that I had to get the information to come out, because the crimes against humanity, the earth, the creator and creation continue unabated because nobody knows about it. And it's been well hidden for a reason by those who wish to harm us for power, control, and energy. And like I said, I think everything is changing, but that's what's been going on. I believe there was a time loop created between 1492 and 1942, and that 1717 was the midpoint year of that, and that was a significant year when I first started looking into the information.
Before you go further on that, can you elaborate on the time loop that you said was created?
Hey, that's a good question, Miss G. Because I was gonna ask the same thing. Like, can she elaborate on the time loop between 1492 and 1442, and how the midpoint is 1717? 1492 and 1442, and how does that equivalent to the midpoint being 1717? That's a good question. I would like to get into that. This is gonna be a good one right here. Hey, I will end it. We ain't had one person support the channel yet, man. What's going on? Y'all want to support the channel? Y'all good? Y'all done did enough? Y'all done got enough? Y'all ain't feeling the live stream today? Listen, I'm gonna continue, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
I think they created an occulted time loop. And I've attributed it to the Philadelphia experiment, and it sounds kind of crazy, but what's even crazier is what's been going on here. I don't think I'm off base with that. Peter Moon.
Oh, I see what they're saying. 1492 and 1942. That's like some switcheroonie shit. That's like Bass Ackwards. That's like some jump. 1492 or 1942. Damn, that's definitely some
talk.
Yeah, he did a lot of work. He talked a lot about Aleister Crowley. He talked a lot about the Philadelphia experiment. He said Aleister Crowley was involved in the Philadelphia experiment. I think he had a lot to do with what's taken place here. I think they figured out something. They time traveled the USS Eldridge in 1942. And I think they created a
Hey, Chief Jonesy, I appreciate that explanation in the chat. That literally broke it down for me. I appreciate that. Real talk.
rip in the fabric of space-time around
Told
1740
y'all some of the
because
smartest
there was
motherfuckers I know out there. Trying to
an
tell you that's no lie.
unexplained period of extreme cold in Ireland that lasted for 21 months. And within 3 years of that, Mayor Amschel Rothschild was born in Germany. And 4 years after he was born, Adam Weishaupt was born. And I'm doing research right now, going into depth more about that, because I think that's where the evil came in. And then the Germans ceded the British royal house. It's complicated. And if anybody cares to look at my blog, I've got it written down in a detailed fashion, but they did something where they could come in, create a flood of mud. You know, there's plenty of places underground where people can go. So original people.
See, this is where I differ. I don't think that they had anything to do with the mud flood. But what I think that they capitalized off a natural disaster and started to construct this reconstruction. You see what I'm saying? I don't think that they literally destroyed it. I don't think nobody could even do that. That's a natural disaster. And we all know about the Madrid earthquake. And we know what happens after an earthquake happened. You got after effects, aftershocks. So we know that happened. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think nobody deliberately mastered up and did some weather changing. I think they capitalized on a natural event.
Could have been under there when this took place. The beings behind this were under there. And I think they dug out enough infrastructure to restart civilization. And then that was how they took over everything. And again, I've really gone into great detail into how I think this was done.
So let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So in 1942, with the USS, with the Philadelphia experiment, as I am reading, as a matter of fact, I'm reading that book. When they went back, because I know the ship went from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, it ended up in Virginia somewhere, and then it came back. But when it came back, some of the people that were on the ship were embedded in part, and they said in the bulkhead of the ship, and others were just blithering crazy as a result of the experience. But then they kept whatever they did, they kept it going up until I guess that book says.
Damn, I'm gonna have to get into the Philadelphia experiment, y'all. This sounds like some deep shit. Let me run that back, man. I might have to get into the Philadelphia experiment. This shit sound like a good little build. You know what I mean? A good little build for us. You understand me? Hit the wood. Yeah, that was a good one. Let's continue, man. Shout out to everybody in the
1942 with the USS, with the Philadelphia experiment. As I am reading, as a matter of fact, I'm reading that book. When they went back, because I know the ship went from the Philadelphia Naval Yard, it ended up in Virginia somewhere, and then it came back. But when it came back, some of the people that were on the ship were embedded in part, and they said in the bulkhead of the ship, and others were just blithering crazy as a result of the experience. But then they kept whatever they did, they kept it going up until I guess that book says like what 83, something like that. Montauk, they continue this. So when they went back, when they did that time travel, you're saying they created a rip in the fabric. In other words, they injected or inserted a different time. When some people say, they talk about the Mandela effect, and they'll say in one time, this is what he died in prison, and the other one he was released, and people remember both. Is that the kind of thing that we're talking about when you talk about a rip in the time space or space time rather fabric?
So
when you get into Elijah Muhammad's last book that he wrote before he passed, he wrote a book called Time, Space, and Continuum and Dimensions. So he gets into all that whole time traveling. Life is not one linear line. It's more like a circle. And as this circle, you can rotate and go different time frames within this circular time. You see what I'm saying? Time is circular, it usurps. You see what I'm saying? If it goes around and comes around, you can go to a certain spot, and they was understanding that. And they said it's like and it's also like a fabric. So if you're at one part of the circle and you at another part of the circle, you could fold that piece of the circle and get to the other part immediately, almost, creating portals or some shit. You know what I mean? I'm not that type of guy, but listen, man, let's continue.
When I was doing my research, I had come to believe that there was some kind of relationship between 1492 and 1942. So that they're like numeric anagrams of each other. Okay. And I really totally believe that the history that we're taught in school, from a certain point forward, it's them telling us their history, but behind that, it's made up, it's fabricated. And so what we're taught is just, they just try to explain how all the infrastructure on the earth got there instead of giving credit to the Moors where it's due. They call it Roman, they call it, whatever, and it's Moorish. Mm-hmm. And so,
like, that's that Roman shit. That's who started this whole timeline. So now, if we know it's in reverse, so let's put Rome in reverse. What is Rome in reverse? Like the city Rome. What is that in reverse? What's the name that you get? Come on, man. Y'all know the vibes, man.
They've done this really elaborate number on us to hide the true history. And I'm showing some pictures that have been taken that you can find on the internet if you look up mud flood. And like I said, there's a lot more mud flood researchers than.
Damn, like if this ain't evidence, and this is the top of somebody's house, if this ain't evidence of a mud flood or a Madrid earthquake, then what the fuck is? You see this? This is at the top of somebody's house, buried all the way to the tip top. That's crazy.
Than the specific research that I'm doing, but we're looking at the same things. And as soon as I learned about the mud flood, when somebody connected me to it, I realized I incorporated that into what I think took place.
And so did the mud flood cover up the whole, like give another layer, and then they built on top of what was under, what had been flooded over? Is that what you're saying?
I think they dug out enough that they could use it, and that there's a lot of infrastructure that goes down below that. And then you can see, I don't know if it's in this picture, but I've got pictures where there's rail tracks, and the ancient civilization built all the railroads and streetcars and subways, amusement parks. That's all original infrastructure. And again, that's why I really think that this didn't happen a long time ago. This happened relatively recently. The Sphinx used to be buried. It had to be dug out.
Damn, the Sphinx was buried. So this was a global mud flooding then. This just didn't hit America. If you had to dig out the Sphinx, you had to dig out the head in Easter Island, you had to dig out all the shit in North America, it makes sense. Some places you can't dig up because they're too far under the ground or underwater at this point.
Easter Island heads have bodies. And to me, it makes a lot of sense that it accounts for how this worldwide civilization of giants was wiped from the face of the earth and erased from our memory. And you see these historic photos, and this is St. Petersburg in Russia, and there's hardly anybody there. The buildings were huge. And there's other pictures like Paris, the same idea. Muddy street. And this is in Athens, Greece. And then they tell us, with all of this infrastructure, they tell us it was like this was built at the beginning of like in the 1800s, which is clearly ancient architecture. And then,
oh, we just can't slip past this. This is a photo. Look at these structures right here. Shit's amazing right here. Like some shit you see in Greece, Rome, or somewhere. Crazy.
Ancient architecture. And then when I looked at what was happening in history starting from 1717, I found the Hanoverian house coming into Britain.
Yo, shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. We just hit the hour marker. We almost got 200 people in here. Let's try to get 200 people in here. Can we get 190 likes in the building, family? Share the live stream. And we haven't had one person. Let me see. I think we did have one person donate today. Let me see who this was. Let me shout this brother out. Gotta shout the brother out. Shout out to everybody in the building. Shout out to my brother Craig. Shout out to Craig Lloyd in the chat for supporting the $2 challenge, man. We appreciate all the support. Shout out to my brother Craig for supporting the channel, man. We really appreciate that, man. Make sure y'all thumb up the video, support the channel, man. Let's continue the live stream. Let's try to get 200, 300 people in here, man. Make sure y'all support the channel. Cash out, PayPal information at the bottom of the screen.
King George the First. And that was the same time. That marked the end of the House of Stuart. Okay. And there's all kinds of stuff going on in 1717. The Triple Alliance, in order to become King of Spain, Philip had to renounce his concurrent claim to the French throne, and that prevented the thrones of Spain and France from merging together, and ultimately paved the way for the maritime, commercial, and financial supremacy of Great Britain. And then in February of 1717, James Francis Edward Stuart of the House of Stuart, called the Pretender, who at one time was claimant to the throne, left where he was living in France after the Triple Alliance was signed, and he went into exile in Rome. And then I found this picture online that was believed to have been painted of him when he was exiled in France. So he was prevented from claiming the throne. And this is typical of what you find. You find the whitewash going on. So
on the left, you have the original, and on the right, is this what, who was doing a lot of painting? Like Michelangelo and others, were they making these forgeries or
somebody was? Because there's sure a lot of them. I found others as well. And then 1717 was the year that the first Freemason Grand Lodge was founded in London. That's a numerological date on 7/17/1717. The premiere of George Frederick Handel's Water Music took place for King George I on a barge on the Thames. And he was a German that became a British citizen. I was guided through a psychic friend to look at Ireland in 1742 for my research. And when I searched on the internet, I found that Handel's Messiah premiered in Dublin, Ireland in 1742. And that was right after that extraordinary cold weather event that I was talking about. So that's just what's going on here. So Rothschilds come in, Weishaupt comes in, Rockefeller comes in. These are all Illuminati types. And I mentioned Jekyll Island earlier. The Federal Reserve was created. The Titanic went down in 1912, and all the bankers opposed to the creation of the Federal Reserve were on board. And
that was
and then the Federal Reserve Act was signed
people
in.
that was opposed to the Federal Reserve. The only people that was opposed to the Federal Reserve was the anti-federal government, who ran and held the largest seating and had the more power in the United States at that current time. Okay, that's just something I want y'all to keep in mind. So let's get it.
To law in 1913. Okay. And then, I mentioned the July 17th, 1717. On July 17th of 1917, the reigning royal house of the United Kingdom and its Commonwealth, the House of Windsor, is founded after the death of Queen Victoria, and it's also a German house. And I'm doing research on that right now. It's going to be my next blog post and video. We've got World War II. Talked about the Philadelphia experiment with the idea that it didn't just become invisible, that it actually went somewhere. And I do think that that there's a connection. They did something. It's my offering as to how it was done, and I might be wrong, but I think I'm in the ballpark. Because what's taking place here is just off the charts bad. Let's see. I'm going to stop sharing for a moment.
Yeah.
Did I lose you?
No, I'm here.
Okay. What happened to you?
Well, now you came back clear because you've been blurry the whole time. So I'm glad to see. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about that. I was trying to give my take on it because I'm reading the Montauk Project.
Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I want to say peace and blessings to everybody tuning in. I also want to say peace and blessings to everybody that's in the comment section. Drop a fire emoji in the chat if y'all really enjoying the bill, if y'all can hear and see everything loud and clear. I appreciate everybody for tapping in, man. Like I said, this is my 36th day in a row with live streaming. I done got y'all 38 live streams within the last 36 days. Hopefully y'all are enjoying the live stream currently, man. So listen, man, we turning it up, man, this year, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, man. We smashing out with this information. So make sure y'all smash that like button. And hey, man, support the channel, man. Shout out to y'all in the chat, man. Get comfortable, man. We just getting cracking.
So let me. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry about yeah. From the ones that were on the ship for that experiment. When I'm trying to think if these people came back embedded in parts of the ship. I mean, how did they extricate them, or how did they?
I'm not really sure. I have read about that in the past from a couple of different sources, but something really weird happened there. And I do believe it happened. I mean, other people say, no, that never happened, but I think it happened. There's enough sources of information out there to support that. Peter Moon was one of the first people that I came across that talked about the Moors when I was looking for information about the Moors. And Richard Smith was the other one. And I watched Richard's videos on the internet at the time, including European Confessions of the Moorish Legacy. And that's part of how I got to that Human Origins Conference, but it's like a 6 or 7 year story. And so I read what I could of theirs. I didn't read all of Peter's books, but I read a number of them. And then I watched some shows where they were being interviewed. And then I had watched other Moorish researchers. And so I had the perspective of the Moorish paradigm when I really started doing my research. And it's yielded so much information. And I apologize. I mean, this is such a huge subject, and I've got so much information to share. I just invite you to go to my website, piercingtheveilofillusion.com, and just look through it, because I've been doing this steadily for 3 years, and it just gets even you know, I get something new every time I go to research, and it was an incredible civilization. There is something that I want to read.
Peter
I'm going to share my screen again.
Moon. I remember watching Peter Moon videos back in 2012, 2015, 14 and shit. Coming into a lot of this information, man, that was getting released. Shout out to Peter Moon, man. Real shit.
Because this is absolutely what I'm seeing. That the civilization was like.
Hey, sidebar. Your favorite uncle been wanting to come back. I just got off the phone with him a couple of days ago. Your favorite uncle ready to come back and drop some heat. He just got done with his eye surgery. He just got done with his vocal and throat surgery. Shout out to Uncle Ryan March, man. He ready to come drop some heat. He's the true elder when it comes to this information, man. Ryan March is damn near 90 years old, man. Shout out to Uncle Ryan March. We got to get him on here. Y'all ready to see Uncle Ryan March back? If y'all ready to see Uncle Ryan March, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat. If y'all ready to see Uncle Ryan, drop a fire emoji in the chat. Let's continue the live stream.
And then they just, you know, gave us this false construct. And this is it. Imagine a planet intricately laced like the flower of life, with structures and buildings designed to resonate harmoniously with the cosmos, pulsing to the beat of the earth and the heartbeats of humanity, delivering to the living world and the firmaments beyond a loving, glowing resonance, as well as some pretty useful analog wireless energy. The golden age of oneness with all. Anima Mundi, a world not programmed, but tuned and co-composed by the dynamic living harmonies, rhythms, and timbres of all the children of the earth and their majestic built environment. Simpatico with the celestial spheres and the cosmos. Majestic for the greatness of God. Magi, wise one. Someone steeped in this culture would most definitely turn the tables of grubby moneylenders, desecrating temples of love, healing, harmony, and empowerment. And that's from a document that somebody shared with me that of his thoughts. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
But
When they said something about money lenders, it now brings to mind bankers, even, you know, or banksters of today, or the Federal Reserve would be probably comparable to the money lenders or the money changers or whatever they were back in that time. But the thing that I'm hearing you say is that because they've manipulated history the way they have, there was a lot of technological advances, and a lot of the things that we think I'm thinking they're new today, existed before in the Moorish civilization. Am I correct?
The Moors built everything. Everything. And it was perfectly placed. It was attuned. It was functional. There was free energy being generated and received. Cathedrals were cathodes. People would go in for being harmonized. They weren't, and I assume mosques also. They weren't being preached to. They were resonating together. And to me, what I
Hey man, this is getting dope, man. This is getting to be a dope ass build, man. Like, I'm really enjoying a lot of this information. And later on at the end of this live stream, I got a bonus information for y'all, or a sneak peek of what tomorrow build's going to be. So make sure y'all get prepared for that. We're going to be exploring one of my favorite cities in America right now when it comes to history, when it comes to these ancient structures, when it comes to the cover up. So yeah, man, make sure y'all tune in, hit the like button, drop the fire emojis. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Don't let Craig Lloyd be the only one support the channel today, man. Cash App and PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Let's go.
Moors built everything. Everything.
existed before in the Moorish civilization. Am I correct?
The Moors built everything. Everything. And it was perfectly placed. It was attuned.
They mean black people, and they mean black people from America. That's what they saying. See, if you don't got the understanding that they just mean niggas from America, the Amaru, the Atlantis, all these, it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
The Moors built everything. Everything. And it was perfectly placed. It was attuned. It was functional. There was free energy being generated and received. Cathedrals were cathodes. People would go in for being harmonized. They weren't, and I assume mosques also. They weren't being preached to. They were resonating together. And to me, what I read reflects that observation by this other person that sent that to me. It expresses what I feel this civilization was. And if you look at cathedral windows, they're actually cymatic patterns of like solfeggio frequencies.
Oh, actually.
So and you know the tall spires and everything, they were serving some kind of energy function. And the controllers just came in and just reversed all of this to control humanity. They're evil.
You mentioned when we were talking offline that the Moors were preparing, or were at the point, if you were, of ascension. And can you get into that a little bit when the controllers came in? And
I believe that the Moorish civilization was so far advanced in what it was doing and in unity consciousness, because everything around the earth is just perfectly coordinated. And you had Tartaria in Asia, you had Barbaria in North Africa, you had the Washita, you had in North America, you had the Mughal Empire in India. These were empires that were connected. They weren't fighting each other. That's a lie. And we were connecting with our divine selves, and that's what we were here for. We didn't have the distractions. You know, we didn't have the games with the alcohol and the junk food. Those are all distractions to focus our attention away from what we're supposed to be doing here, which is reconnecting with our higher selves and each other. And the controllers just set up the whole system as a control system. And it's very painful. I mean, what we've been going through, it's just, I've done a series called Looking at History with New Eyes since 1945. And it goes before that, I mean, what's taken place, like the wars are about destroying the ancient infrastructure and genocide. But even starting in the 80s, the year I graduated from high school, which was 1981, that was when the terrorism started all over the earth, you know, with planes being blown out of the skies and people burning up in stadiums and in theaters, and, you know, this terror and this fear that we've been living with for at least 40 years. And prior to that, it was more localized conflicts, and the civil wars and things were still going on. They were still being promoted by I'm going to call the cabal or secret government. It was being funded by them. They don't care. They didn't care. It wasn't what we're told to get our consent. That lying is how they get our consent. And if we were so, and I'm not questioning whether we were, since we were so advanced, how were the dark cabal able to infiltrate and overtake? If we were so technological, since we were so technologically advanced, how were they able to bring us down? That's where I think the mud flood comes in.
Oh, okay.
That there was a deliberately caused cataclysm that wiped the slate clean.
Damn, see, I've never heard nobody explain it being deliberately done, man. I've always heard it explained through the Madrid earthquake, and then that Madrid earthquake could have been caused by the comet of 1811 or 18, I forget the year. It all happened in the same time frame. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Like I said, but obviously we don't know what caused it, who caused it. We know that it was an actual mud flood that happened. And it's a global recorded stories of these floods. So either everybody's lying or everybody's telling the truth. Which one is it? You see what I'm saying? Let's continue the live stream.
And then they rewrote history with what they wanted in there, and wanted us to think and know and believe. And they've been teaching us this. They reinforce it with movies, books, music, and it's a false history. And people, it's amazing that I was able.
It is a false history. You know what I'm saying? It really is. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Can we get everybody to drop some fire emojis? But before you drop the fire emojis, let me know what city and what state y'all in and what y'all smoking on, man. This is the Grand Rising Show. This is the Grand Rising Wake and Bake Show with your brother Aboriginal Power. Let me know what city and what state y'all in, man. Let's turn up in the chat. Let's try to get 300 people in here. In order to get 300 people in here, I'm gonna need each and every one of you guys to share it at least one time on whatever social media platform of your choice. Share the live stream, man. Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Let's turn up.
They reinforce it with movies, books, music, and it's a false history. And people, it's amazing that I was able to wake up to this, because I was born into a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant middle class family. My family is nowhere near to getting this information. I mean, I can't even talk to them about it, which I wish I could, but everything that they were taught about their family history, like my mom is a genealogist, she loves her family history. And I look at the family history now and I'm thinking they were lying to their descendants. Mm-hmm. And that's exactly how I see it. And her great-great-great-great-grandparents were Florida pioneers in the 1830s. And that's when this reset was really getting underway. So I think 1851 was the official start of the New World Order timeline, but that they were repopulating and doing things in the time period before that. So like the 19th century was a very busy time in this new timeline. And once I woke up to this, when I go to Florida now, I see the mounds and the earthworks, I see the Moorish architecture. That's what I see. And every building has a story. So my mom's hometown is Dade City, Florida, which is the county seat. A big, beautiful courthouse with a dome and columns. And
I'm trying to tell y'all, the buildings tell the story, man. That's called geometry. That's the sacred language of the Masons. This is what they're talking about. They're talking about your history when they talk about these various different things, man. Seriously.
Story about when it was built, like late 1800s, early 1900s. It's a story. It was already there.
It's older. So a lot of these, so what you're saying is that a lot of these cathedral type dome buildings, even how about in DC and all that, or were these
same thing? I mean, they tell us with a straight face that the Supreme Court was built during the Depression. If you look at the Supreme Court, it's huge. If you look at Lincoln Memorial, which was said to have been built between 1914 and 1922. Oh, and it's perfectly aligned with Capitol building at the other end. It's BS. And they lie without conscience.
Wow. Well, I knew they lied. I knew they were lying about, let's say, a lot of the things that we see today. I knew that, but I wasn't sure the buildings, or not sure. I didn't know that the buildings that we see, so a lot of the structures that we see that have been given earlier, no, later building construction dates were actually ancient buildings that belong or have been constructed by the Moors maybe 1,000 years ago or so or more. Is that what you're saying?
Since
That's exactly
the actual dates were lost,
that's exactly what the hell she's pretty much saying, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to my boy Smoke Signal for supporting the channel, man. Sending in the Cash App donation. Shout out to my brother Smoke Signal. I appreciate the love and the support. Make sure y'all support the channel. Don't let Craig and Smoke Signal be the only one to support the channel, man. Shout out to all American Aborigines and FBA brothers and sisters in the chat, man. Hey, we lit in the chat, man. Let's turn up. We about at the halfway marker of this live, man. Let's go.
Since the actual dates were lost, I can't really address that. But what I can show you is a good example of what I found. I'm going to go back to my screen sharing here real quick.
Okay.
Okay, so I want to show you some of what I'm talking about along one of the alignments I was tracking starting in San Antonio. And please bear with me, everybody. I'm sorry. But it speaks to what I was talking about. This is what I found when I was looking in San Antonio to start with. Okay, so this is a series of courthouses. Here. It's said to have been designed in Romanesque revival style by renowned architect James Riley of Gordon, best known for his 18 landmark county courthouses in Texas, 6 of which have been demolished and 12 of which remain. So a lot more has been demolished than remains. Clearly Moorish architecture. This one was said to have been built in 1902 and was demolished by 1953. Brazoria County Courthouse, built in 1894 and demolished around 1930. Moorish architecture. This beautiful one in Waxahachie, Texas, from 1897, still in use today. Moorish architecture. This one in New Braunfels, Texas, from 1898, that's still standing. But that's what they do. There's records for every building. And then the story is usually like there were 3 or 4 courthouses. And courthouses were part of that control system as well. And I saw a question, stop sharing for a sec, can find you. I saw a question about lakes and so forth. I believe the Moorish Masons were master hydrologists, and that rivers were canals, river systems were canals, and that there are many, many artificial lakes and islands all over the world. Now, a lot of the lakes in North America, especially, and I'm sure this is in other countries, but I've studied it specifically, like in places like Oklahoma, which all of the lakes in Oklahoma are man-made. But when I say man-made, I mean they were flooded. And I really believe that there's ancient infrastructure underneath the surface of those lakes. And I know that for a fact at Lake Thunderbird outside of Oklahoma City, because that was the first place I confirmed that. Because I went there and I looked and I saw ancient masonry around the shore of the lake. So I think they flooded a lot of places and just made, however they did it, made these lakes to cover up ancient infrastructure. But having said that, there's a lot of artificially made lakes that were made by the original civilization and islands.
So what do you contend happened to Atlantis? And
I think
Mu and Lemuria and Atlantis.
Really, my understanding is the Moorish civilization originated in Mu, went through Atlantis, and I'm saying it was all over the world up until recently, up until this cataclysm happened. And there may have been a landmass that sank in what's now the Atlantic Ocean, but this was a continuous civilization from ancient times up until modern times, and it's a continuation of the same civilization.
Wow.
Because if you look at Hakim Bey's Journal of the Moorish Paradigm, it says Mu Atlantis on it.
Shout out to everybody in the building, man. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let me say shout out to TT Portier for the Cash App donation. We appreciate that. Shout out to the Empress TT Portier for the Cash App donation. We really appreciate that. Shout out to Big Dog Philly OG for supporting the channel as well and sending in the Cash App donation. He said, peace, my brother. Shout out to my brother Big Dog Philly OG as well, man. Make sure y'all hit that like button, thumb up the video, and support the channel, man. Let's try to get 300 people in here. You know what I'm saying? In order to do that, man, we're gonna have to have everybody in the live stream to share the live stream at least one more time for me. You know what I mean? On whatever social media platform of your choice. Let's continue the live stream. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. Man, it's a feel good to be Aborigine, man. We deep in here, man. Shout out to everybody. Y'all be in here dropping that heat in the chat sometimes, making this shit, you know what I mean? Sometimes I be confused on what they saying, because I'm watching this live with y'all. My first time hearing this is y'all first time hearing this. So I haven't had the time to elaborate and think. Sometimes y'all break shit down for me in the chat. Y'all the smartest motherfuckers around, man.
If you look at Hakim Bey's Journal of the Moorish Paradigm, it says Mu Atlantis on it. But what I'm seeing is that, like when I said earlier, the architecture around the earth is all over the earth is the same. And you see those temple-looking buildings, like Greek temple-looking buildings. I was talking about like with the Supreme Court and the Lincoln Memorial and all these places. And it's not just limited to here. These types of buildings are all over the earth. And again, I've been studying this for 3 years and longer. Writing about it for 3 years, but studying it for about 2.
I mean, y'all not got the story. We've been hearing people calling this same place, the same architecture, ancient Tartarian. Y'all don't call it, we done heard people call it ancient Atlantean. We done heard people call it so many various names. They're talking the fuck the name. Excuse my French. Screw the name. Let's look at the geographical, political location that they're saying this place was and where the capital was. Where do they highlight? What structures? What's the science? It tells who the people are. You got to look for the fingerprint, not for some bullshit ass cover up. That's like a motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Come on. We smarter than that.
2 more years beyond that. And it's the same style of architecture all over. And if you think about it, if you remember seeing pictures of titled Atlantis and you see temples underwater, they look the same as these places I'm talking about. It's the same style.
That's a fact. Hey, how many of y'all seen my Instagram the other day? How many of y'all seen my Instagram the other day where I was watching that movie, the fuck is the name of this shit? Aquaman, right? And they talking about the little shit on there, and they're like, look, this is what Atlantis looked like. And they got the little picture and shit of the dude from Atlantis holding the little pitchfork, looking just like the Chicago World's Fair thing. Image at the Chicago World's Fair. I looked at that shit. I said, man, let me take a video of this. Because I'm going to do that shit's amazing, man. How can they just show you some shit like that and you don't peep it, man? Seriously.
So I think it's all part the same.
Well, there were some that even say that we were more at one point aquatic, and able to.
Nah, ain't nobody going that far, Miss G. Ain't nobody saying we was no fish people. Now, don't do that now. Some of these ladies might smell. I'll just bullshit. Just a joke. We're not fish people, you guys. Just a joke.
Whether or not we were, there's evidence you research that we were both aquatic and as well as able to maneuver on earth as well on land as well as in the water.
One of my viewers made a comment about that. I was looking at the Barrier Reef in Australia. I was following an alignment crossing through there, and he made the comment that from what he understood, that was like, he mentioned the term aquatic ape, and I had not heard anything about that until he mentioned it, and it's the same kind of idea about, you know, being.
Man, this whole aquatic ape theory goes into the mermaid theory. You know what I'm saying? The origin of the mermaid goes back to this whole aquatic ape theory, which is Darwin on DMT. You understand me? It's crazy.
Being aquatic at one time. I personally don't know very much about that. And the other thing that comes to mind is, you know, legends of mermaids and mermen, mer people. Nothing would surprise me at this point.
Well, I have a friend, and she was going through, I think, a year-long initiation process, and at one step of the initiation, she ended up. They went to an island that was part of the is it Gullah Geechee area, and they
South Carolina.
South Carolina for their initiation, and they had to go in the water for this part of what they were doing. And she said when she looked over,
I was following the information because I'm not confused off the terms that they use. I know the Aboriginal people in America built these structures. I don't give a fuck if you call them SpongeBob-atarians right now. Nigga, I know who the fuck they is. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can't throw out shit that's gonna blind me from seeing the true picture, nigga. I'm tapped in. Free Papu, get your weird ass out the chat, nigga. Nobody even listening to your weird ass. Nobody even respond to you, nigga. Using nobody even on the YouTube chat. Fuck out of here.
Like beyond, like say on the other side of that, like body of water that they were, you know, dipping in. She said there was like a whole string, like a whole line, not string, of men in the water that had come up out of the water, and you could just see, you know, like say from the like the waist area up, but that these were like mermen. And so she had to ask if anybody else saw them. She said they were lined up. They came up out of the water, and they just kind of like were in formation during the ceremony.
Yeah, I mean, nothing would surprise me. You know, so many things have been hidden. And I will talk about star forts here in just a moment. But, you know, this whole psychopathic controller thing that came in, you know, they're anti-life. And who knows what's happened to, you know, more people.
Well, you know,
what's going on.
You know, you mentioned that, you know, they don't have to tell you that they're telling us what they're doing or what's real and what's not, but they just put it in movies and so forth. So I was thinking about, say, even like movies like The Little Mermaid and things like that, or Finding Nemo, or things where you're seeing beings in the water that way. That's their way, maybe even of saying that they know for a fact that that was an ability that we had, that we somehow, you know, it's been either bred out of us or we've passed it to just being on the land.
Listen, you gotta realize, I believe they had sectors to this shit. So when they say Lumerian, when they say Atlantis, when they say, these are different sectors. One might be the government, one might be the economic center, one might be the military. And I think often when you hear about Moors in America and Moors coming from America, I believe that they was the military, ancient military, the ones that navigated the seas, the mooring. You see what I'm saying? These was the ancient military. If we going out to establish a new civilization, of course you're going to have to bring your military for support. Think about it. I mean, y'all niggas be dumb.
And as opposed to being, you know, in both environments. So I see a lot of that in various movies and so forth. And can you talk with that on that same subject? Can you give us some movies where you know that they're telling us something without telling us something about the truth?
Back to the Future. The Back to the Future is probably the best example. There's a lot of stuff about 9/11 and Back to the Future. Research that I've done recently on what I'm working on right now is The Final Countdown. Was a movie about a time traveling naval vessel. Came out in the early 80s, and I'm speculating that it's predictive programming to, maybe account for the Philadelphia experiment, and my belief that it had something to do with this. Those are the ones that come to the top of my head, but there are many others. That's what they do. It's how they skirt the requirement to tell us what they're doing.
Well, I figured, you see how I can say this without, I was trying to not say words that are trigger words, but all of the zombie movies that came out.
Honest with y'all, man, I've never even watched Back to the Future. How y'all stop? I'm probably like a little, past that little, I've never seen the movie. I heard about it. I seen the dude in it, whatever, whoop, but I might have to go check that movie out just for, to catch some drop in it. It might be some drop in it. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. So I say, yep, I seen it. It's cool. Y'all seen it? All right, I'm gonna have to go check that shit out. So yeah, man, I'm gonna have to see what's up with that, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat, man. Can we get a few more likes in the building? I want to let this live stream continue. You know what I'm saying? I want to let this motherfucker continue, but we're gonna have to get some likes. Seriously. Let's see where we at with the likes real quick before I even start this motherfucking live stream back. Let's see where we at with it. 196. Oh, hell no. We got to get at least 70 more likes in this motherfucker. At least 60 more likes. Can we get to 250, please? Sheesh. Can we get to 250 likes? That's all I'm asking for. We get to 250 likes. I'm starting the live back. We getting back to it. Philly, you be on some bullshit. Hey, y'all cut it out in the chat, man. Y'all grown ass men. Sitting here arguing for nothing. Y'all both Aborigines pushing Aborigine information. Listen, man, I ain't got no beef with no Aborigines in the community anywhere, man. I call a truce. I call a truce to all Aborigines, man. I have no beef with nobody, man. Push your shit, man, in peace. Just leave me alone, man. Don't bring me up, man. That's all. Just keep pushing the Aboriginal information. That's all I'm saying, man. Shout out to everybody. I call a truce with every Aborigine. Because that's what the voice of the Aborigines have to do, man. Sometimes you got to be the bigger guy. You understand me? And so that's what we're going to do with it. You feel what I'm saying? Let's get it going,
man. I remember saying to Grand Sheik maybe, I don't know, a month or so ago, I said, you know what? I've never, because I don't look at them like that, but you know how you know that there was zombie series and so forth. And I said, if you ever saw the backstory, they never tell the backstory that I know of as to how the zombies came to be. And I said, we're looking at it now. I said, we're experiencing how they became what they were in those movies because of what we're going through right now. That's yeah. So they told us the outcome, and now they're doing the act.
Yeah, this has been psychological warfare.
Psychological warfare, history warfare, structural warfare. You know what I mean? It's all kind of warfare that they done attacked our people with. Hey, Krista Jamie, Matt, thank you for rubbing it in. No, I'm just bullshitting. Appreciate you for enjoying your meal while, you know what I mean, listen to the live stream. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you. Glad we able to do that for you. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. This is an interesting live stream, might I add. Very, very interesting. You know what I'm saying? Bugs Bunny is a watered down bro rabbit. That ain't funny as hell. I ain't never even heard of bro rabbit. Listen, man. I know y'all niggas in the chat don't like what I be dropping, but listen, I'm keeping it real, man. And like I told y'all earlier, the honest guy becomes a villain. The honest person becomes a villain in a land full of lies. Y'all niggas in a land full of lies. Everything that you've been told been a lie. Everything been reversed. Ain't nothing been the truth. And I'm the villain because I'm telling the truth. Because I'm being honest with it. And like I said, man, the honest becomes a villain in the land full of lies, man. Let's continue the live stream.
For a long time with TV programming, I can't even watch TV. It's
hard.
You know, it just, there's, and I haven't been interested in it for years. You know, alternative videos and YouTube's different, but I can't watch television. I haven't listened to mainstream news in years, but I follow it on other sources. So I have my finger on the pulse of what's going on. But this has been a multi-generational diabolical plan for mind control and brainwashing. And we're also living when we're going into the age of Aquarius, and there's a lot more energy and light coming onto the earth, and they can't keep it hidden anymore.
No, they can't keep it hidden because big Aboriginal power, the Aboriginals are here, and we digging. We going on the crime scene. You understand me? We whipping it up. You understand me? Man, make sure y'all hit that like button, support the channel. Shout out to my brother Kevin Coleman for supporting the channel, man. He said, keep pushing our people's platforms. No egos. I love it. Yeah, man, we ain't got no ego, man. Nah, man, I got love for all the Aborigines. I don't care who you are, what platform, and what you push, man. As long as you waking our people up, telling them who they is, and you know what I mean, showing them, man, listen, I got nothing but love for you, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no hate for nobody, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Listen, the real gonna support the real, the fake gonna support the fake. The reason y'all here, man, y'all growing, man. They try to bury you, nigga. They try to bury your information. And it goes back to that quote Hawk School said, they try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds. They try to bury us in the dirt, not knowing that we were seeds, man. We growing, man. Let's keep it going, man.
Their plan was for all of us to be like that, but they didn't succeed in that.
Yeah, they're working they're working very hard to get everybody. It's like, oh, they're flip-flopping back and forth, but you're gonna need this in order to do that. You're gonna have to have had this done. And I'm saying, well, I absolutely just won't do it. You know, it's just I'm gonna be content in my own space, in my own domicile. I'm not gonna have to worry about all those things because I refuse to allow it. Even when you saw those movies, there were those who were not infected, and I'm assuming that those are the ones like us who were woke enough not to fall for the need for that. Because even, you know, well, now that you got it, you may have to just get a booster every year. And I was like, what, to boost more until you completely make the switch, until they completely, the message in your RNA is completely going over to whatever message they've been sending you to turn you to. So it's just interesting that, you know, we're seeing this stuff, and then all of the different people that they're putting in front of, particularly the Moorish community, the melanated community of, you know, people who allegedly have taken it and have, you know, are trying and urging and encouraging the rest of us to follow suit. I just think it's like, what the hell? You know, you guys are really, 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 really trying to convince us that this is necessary. But like you said, I'm happy for the wokeness that we are, you know, that we're experiencing, because I think in another time, everybody would have, you know, drank Kool-Aid with a belief.
With your permission, can I show the video of the presentation I gave at the Human Origins Conference? It's about a half an hour long.
Yes.
Would that be okay?
That's fine.
Okay. Like I said, I'm a much better writer and compiler than speaker, and I have a lot of information in there I'd like to share with you.
Yeah, it was very interesting. I think that would be good.
Okay. Let me get to there.
And if you all have questions, I think Michelle is looking at the comments and so forth. So if it's about a half an hour, we'll have about, maybe 20 minutes or so for some Q&As, or we can go over a little bit. Okay.
Okay. And connecting with one's higher self, source, universal self, whatever word you. My research following cities and places in alignment all over the world led me to finding out how the original advanced Old World Order was transformed into the globalist New World Order. How did we arrive at the world we live in today? Was cruelty, great suffering, degradation, racial and religious division our inherent nature and destiny? Or was humanity at one time highly advanced, and then the original order of society turned upside down, after which time we have been the subjects of a vast human and social engineering project, not for our best interest, but that of negative beings who want nothing but total power and control over everything? I firmly believe there would be no mysteries in history if we had been told the true history. My original topic began in 2016 after I found a star tetrahedron on the North American continent by connecting the dots of major cities and extending the lines out. Then I wrote down the cities that lined up primarily in circular fashion and got an amazing tour of the world of places I had never heard of, with remarkable similarities across countries. Before I go on, is the sound okay on that?
Yes.
Okay, great. As a result of doing research on these alignments, the story of an advanced, unified worldwide civilization, what happened to it, who did it, and how it was done, unfolded in front of my eyes. I have come to believe as a result of my research that there was a hostile takeover of the Earth's grid system after a deliberately caused cataclysm that resulted in a worldwide flood of mud, which wiped out most of the original civilization. I think pockets of original people existed in underground locations, as well as the beings behind this, until enough of the original infrastructure was dug out of the mudflow to restart civilization. Then the Earth was repopulated through human and social engineering, primarily beginning in the 1830s. More on this later. I believe that negative beings were behind the cataclysm and hostile takeover and have executed and implemented an elaborate multi-generational plan comprised of fallen angels, reptilians, archons, demons, and other negative extraterrestrial races with a negative agenda towards humanity, the creator and creation, all of whom have been interfering on Earth. They had to do it this
Right, talking about where they at, nigga. We still here. Facts.
way because in a free will zone like Earth, the human beings who live here have to give their consent to choose whether to follow the light or the dark. The only way they can accomplish this acceptance, however, is by outright lies, deception, and duplicity. Because if people knew the true agenda of these controllers, the majority of humanity will never, ever accept this. What I think is that they found a way to create a new 3D time loop between the years of 1492, the year of the fall of Granada in Spain and the first voyage of Christopher Columbus, and 1942, which was midway through World War II and the year of the Philadelphia experiment, were the boundary years of a new 3D time loop called Rome. The new, what I believe, occulted timeline was somehow inserted and everything was grafted onto the existing infrastructure on the Earth and falsely attributed in the newly written historical narrative. I have speculated that the Great Frost of Ireland was the result of a rip in the fabric of space-time caused by the Philadelphia experiment. If that sounds out there, then why is there a time-traveling naval vessel in the field of information in the form of a 1980 movie called The Final Countdown about the USS Nimitz going back in time to the day before the attack on Pearl Harbor on December 7th of 1941. The Great Frost of Ireland took place between 1740 and 1741, during which time the Irish population endured 21 months of bizarre weather without known precedent that defied conventional explanation. The cause is not known. I think this rip in the fabric of space-time allowed for non-human souls to incarnate in human form, because in 1744, Mayer Amschel Rothschild was born in Frankfurt, Germany. He established his banking business there in the 1760s, marking the start of the international banking family and ultimately the central banking system. It is interesting to note that when Mayer Amschel Rothschild died in 1812, the Free City of Frankfurt in the Holy Roman Empire had become the Grand Duchy of Frankfurt in the Confederation of the Rhine.
I'm sorry about that, man. I said I'm ending the live stream, but I am going to drop the link in the chat. My bad, y'all. I thought I was unmuted. Yeah, man. So yeah, man, that's some crazy information. This whole rest of this live stream gets into a whole nother bag. I'm gonna do part 2 to this tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in, man. It's gonna be a dope live stream. I'm about to drop the link in the chat, but I do have a bonus info. I do have some bonus audio and video I want to get into for you guys. It gets into the pretty much the bill for tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? If not tomorrow, the day after, but it's a sneak peek. It's the bill that we're gonna do this week. So just stay tuned, man. Make sure y'all tune into the live stream. All right. I'm gonna need y'all to really thumb up the video. And like I said, a lot of people don't really pay attention to a lot of this information. So listen, we're gonna pay attention to it. We're gonna get into it. We're gonna talk about it. We're going to get into all the good shit about it. It's going to go down, man. I'm about to get into that right now. I'm about to show y'all the sneak peek for tomorrow's or this week's build coming up. I'm going to do part 2 to the build today, though. Tomorrow. I'm going to do the part 2 to that tomorrow. So make sure y'all tune in, man. Let's get into the sneak peek. Y'all ready for the sneak peek? Let's go.
History books that we're taught that Chicago is in the modern day. We're taught that Chicago was built in the 1800s, but there's so much with that narrative that doesn't add up that it leads us to believe that there's something that was left out of the official history books. In 1605, a map published in Venice shows North America with many old world cities. Notice that the symbol to represent these cities is some type of red castle. Supposedly at the time that this was written, there was no English-speaking settlements on the North American continent. In the middle of the continent, past the end of the St. Lawrence River, appears the name Shalaga. And we can see this in a variety of different maps. It's right in the exact same place that Chicago would appear, and obviously, the name is extremely close. In 1894, the Chicago Tribune actually mentioned Shalaga being on a map from 1615. Chicago or Shalaga on an old map. Quote, President Harper of the University of Chicago has lately received a quaint map of the world. This map was presented to President Harper by Dr. Charles Richter, the Imperial German Representative Commissioner to the World's Fair. Now, isn't that interesting? It continues, the following letter of presentation accompanies the map. Quote, W.R. Harper, President of the University of Chicago. Dear Sir, when during the early preparatory stages of the exposition work efforts were made mainly upon the investigation of Mr. Curtis to collect maps, supposition be correct, it is most likely on this map the name of Chicago in its original form appears for the first time. Quote, Herr Professor Graf of Dresden, who has taken a prominent interest in the researches to which the Chicago Exposition and the historic events underlying its existence have given so powerful an impulse, has upon a request arranged for a photographic reproduction of the maps in question. And as the representative of this commission and on behalf of Herr Professor Graf, I have the honor to request you to accept a copy of the same with the request that you give it an appropriate place in your university, and with the hope, also, that it will prove the warm interest that Germany has taken of old in that far-off period of history. I trust that you will accept this small token of esteem in the spirit in which it is given, as a mark of appreciation, however inadequate, of the energetic efforts that are being made towards the propagation of science and education by the Chicago institutions generally, and your university especially, and as a manifestation of the interest which German scientists have taken. End quote. Education by the Chicago institutions generally, and your university especially, and as a manifestation of the interest which German scientists have taken. End quote. Okay, so Dr. Charles Richter was the Imperial German Representative Commissioner to the World's Fair, and it seems that he was trying to write to the university professor and attempt to speak about Shalaga appearing on old maps, and he even alludes to it having a connection with Germany. Obviously, there was some interest by people who knew none of the origins of the World Fairs into Chicago's ancient origins. But this is kind of where it gets even crazier. The newspaper actually had a follow-up 6 days later where they attempt to cover this whole thing up. Let's remember now that we understand the orphan asylums and that most of these people, especially the journalists and the German migrants, they wouldn't know the full history of this city. That knowledge would only be known by the secret orders who own the buildings and perhaps some higher-ups at these colleges. Now the headline of the newspaper reads, "Shalaga is not the same as Chicago." Someone named C.F. Gunther writes in and says, quote, "In the Tribune of Sunday, there appeared a map lately sent to President Harper of the University by Dr. Charles Richter, Imperial German Representative Commissioner, which is supposed to represent the oldest appearance of the name of Chicago, namely 1615. As no one questions this assumption, I am frank to say that it is unquestionably an error in every respect. It is not true that the so-called Shalaga on this map is at the exact point where the marvelous city is now located, but on the contrary, the country is marked Mexicana. Again, the so-called St. Lawrence River is not so far south. This river was well known at the time and should be at the top of the map. Hence, this is also a far-fetched assumption. It is self-evident that no one would put Chicago on a river running up in Mexico, for Chicago, situated on a chain of lakes nearly 1,000 miles long, omitting these lakes entirely and place it on a river going into Mexico. He continues trying to prove this Mexico argument and that Shalaga is actually spelled Shalapa. Now, this makes it very obvious that they didn't want this to be looked into at all, because the truth is, Shalaga is not spelled Shalapa, and it's on several maps in the 1500s. Many of the maps that show Shalaga closer south have been distorted, as with the German plate, but there are maps that show it in its correct position. Also, just because the map said Mexicana doesn't mean anything. In fact, Mexicana is said to have been all of California, Florida, Nova France, Norumbega, Quivira, and many more. It wasn't literally just in Mexico. And it's very strange that someone at the university actually said this and ignored that Shalaga is actually accurately placed on Mercator's map, so there's obviously some type of cover-up going on. Also, another argument made is that Hochelaga appears on several maps, and that Shalaga is some corruption of that, but I think Hochelaga must have been some type of smaller settlement made around the ruins of Shalaga, possibly by cannibalistic tribes as mentioned in many books around this time. But this got me looking into the University of Chicago, and just take a look at this building, which was also graciously funded by John D. Rockefeller. So yeah, it's another castle, but just think about it. Why would the college try to cover up Shalaga? Well, it's because the officials, or those who were in control of Chicago at the time, were secret society orphans who had repopulated the city and educated the population. By this time in 1890, most of Chicago's population was transported in, and the people had no clue who actually built these structures. Just look at the University of Chicago's emblem in 1890. Looks like we have a griffin in flames. Maybe they're trying to tell us something? They tell us that Chicago was raised afloat because of swampland flooding. They tell us that they built a tunnel under the Chicago River. They tell us that there was a great fire, yet when we look at the old pictures of Chicago, it looks like a bomb went off.
Tell me! What do you want?
Before Jobber, it was.
Hey man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hopefully y'all getting ready and hopefully y'all enjoying what y'all hearing so far, man. This is gonna be a dope ass build, man. Like I said, hopefully y'all enjoying the sneak peek to tomorrow's or this week's build. I might even give this to y'all tomorrow, but I'm probably gonna do a part 2 to the build we just did today. But y'all will see this week, man. Tune in, man. Shout out to everybody.
Swampland flooding. They tell us that they built a tunnel under the Chicago River. They tell us that there was a great fire, yet when we look at the old pictures of Chicago, it looks like a bomb went off. They tell us that Chicago's World Fair was built in less than 3 years. Even if this was done with plaster, this would have been a massive undertaking. Just look at these structures. Does this look temporary to you? The purpose of these fairs were to indoctrinate, and I wouldn't be surprised if people began asking questions. I mean, look at Dr. Charles. He obviously was curious to Chicago's ancient origins, since it has been depicted in maps, and they were probably curious about who built all these structures, and so maybe the officials decided that they had to get rid of it, so they destroyed everything. These structures were not built in the 1800s. Chicago was an old world Tartarian city. It's even on Mercator's map from 1569, so why when you look up Shilaga does it say that it's only on a map in 1605? Very strange, right? And on the Mercator's map, there's a series of texts with Latin legends that actually talk about Tartaria. He mentions the Tartars almost 20 times on this map, and it's possible that they're the actual source for where Mercator actually got his info. He talks about a King John who had taken over the country of Tartaria, and basically in order to quell rebellion,
the King John that took over Tartaria's story is better explained from Prester John. And if you get into the story of Prester John, he's a nobleman that came from the America that spoke a dragon language, that had a dragon pet. It's a whole supposedly fictional story, but it gets into this particular topic.
He desired to disperse them into different countries. He talks about a King John who had taken over the country of Tartaria, and basically in order to quell rebellion, he desired to disperse them into different countries, breaking their power of rebellion. But the Tartars were unwilling to give up their kinship, and of mutual association, they made a vow and fled to the northward, where they seized a very vast country. So Mercator was well aware of the Tartarians, and if they had complete control of the east, it's not that far of a stretch to assume that they would attempt to pass the Bering Strait. If we look at Arzareth, which is the land beyond the Great River, far away from the habitation of man, in which the 10 tribes of Israel will dwell, observing the laws of Moses until the time of restoration, Arzareth was clearly in Tartaria, right by the Bering Strait. The Tartarians, then trying to flee whatever king or parasites were trying to take over, they crossed into America and began creating cities, one of them being Shilaga. In America, being the latest and most accurate description of the New World, we actually have a paragraph that speaks of this exact situation. Quote, "The other Tartary, which certainly was the first nursery, from hence the Americans were transplanted. Tartary, or Tatary, so called from the river Tatar, which runs through the country Mongol into the Northern Ocean, covers a great part of the terrestrial globe. The lesser Tartary takes out a considerable part of Europe. The greater is Asia. Now I must inquire from what Tartars the Americans extracted. Mornius, Postellus, Jean-Bardus, Proterus, and others are of the opinion that the Tartars, which about the year 1228, under the command of Zingis Khan, overspread the earth like a deluge, where the successors to the 10 tribes of Israel, which were carried into captivity to Assyria by Salmanazar, the Tartary, or rather Tartaria, seems to be some testimony thereof, because it signifies in the Syrian or Hebrew tongue remnants or remainders, as seemingly because these Tartarians were remainders of the forementioned tribes." End quote. So you tell me, what do you think? Is Chicago the ancient mythical city of Shilaga? If we connect this with the Chicago World Fair, then it actually starts to make a lot more sense. Do you guys have any finds to share on Shilaga? Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Stay curious, and all we can hope is that our minds will be unveiled.
Let go.
I mean, if you think about it, man, look, Chicago is one of them places, man. We're gonna get into this, man. We're gonna get into this. Y'all gonna really enjoy the Chicago build that I do tomorrow. We're gonna get into the World's Fair. We're gonna get into some of these structures, and we're gonna break it down. And we're gonna break it down from an Aboriginal point of view. I got my brother Chief Jonesy on here. What's going on, Chief?
Tribe, what's the deal? Fire bill, family. But did you catch that ancient map, bro? That Asia spelled with an F.
And we'll get into that. And it actually had a Y and an I and an A in it too. It was weird.
And Chicago it had something like a Shekegu.
Yeah, it's Shaligo or whatever the fuck they were saying. I don't know, man. But listen, hey, I got some shit for I don't want to spoil it, man. So I don't even want to talk too much on it. I got some shit we're gonna get into, man, for sure. Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I'm gonna drop the link one more time in the chat just in case anybody else want to hop on. The link is in the chat, man. Shout out to Chief Jonesy for hopping on, man. This is the Wake and Bake Show. So let me know where y'all at in the United States out there, man. Drop your city and drop your states and cities where y'all at, man. What y'all
And it was interesting every time that she brought up the Moorish Empire, Moorish civilization. I was always into a reference as a certain type and color, you know what I'm saying, particular people. So as we know today, how it's loosely used. It was just in that particular context talking about the dark-skinned, swarthy people, you know what I'm saying, of the ancient science. You see what I'm saying? We are the people of the science, not the people of the contemporary books.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We are the people of the science, and that's what we bring, man. So, like I said, and a lot of our contemporary books were stolen or they used. I think they in one of them Vanderbilt rooms in there, man. We got to go do a tour down there because they got over 10,000. They said they got over 175,000 books in that building. They said they had 10,000 just in one room. And that wasn't even a library room, nigga. That was just some extra space, nigga. So yeah, we got to go do that tour and turn up, man. Oh, Pap G's, he in this joint. Philly boy in this joint, sturdy. Shout out the gang. Man, shout out to my nigga 111 Truth in this thing.
Tribe, so fun.
What's good? What's good? What's poppin' with it?
Man, you already know the vibes, man.
Yeah, man, I was riding past them buildings yesterday and shit, bro. We still got some of them structures here in Chicago on Lakeshore Drive. The shit, they turned it into shit like the Shed Aquarium, the Museum of Science and Industry and shit. Yeah, buildings always been up.
That's exactly what they doing down there, man. I'm glad you were able to go by there and visually look at it as one of the archaeologists on site. Shout out to archaeologists.
Check this out, man. This how the universe work, bro. For like the last, you know what I'm saying, for the last 20 years, our family been having like this annual golf tournament, right? So like the last about 5, I've been having to like take over like the organization of finding a place and putting this shit together. Where the last one, we went to over off of Missouri, bro, right by Swope Parkway, bro. So it's a golf course over there. So when she broke out the shit about how the golf courses are covers up of the mound, like ancient mound shit, bro, that shit hit me hard, bro, because I went out and did a motherfucking golf course with the Black Doctors Association a couple years ago, but the last couple years. Last year, bro, I played a little raffle, nigga. I won fucking 4 free plays at 3 different motherfucking little prominent golf courses that I haven't even heard of, but they on the Missouri side. And so when she said that shit, I'm like, see, that's how the shit work. I played a raffle for these motherfuckers and won all the golf courses that I fucking played for, bro. Not knowing that this shit was, I mean, I knew it was a connection, but I was trying to figure out how deep it should go. But it makes sense for them to have a little subtle way to filter and sift out, you know what I'm saying, low-key gentrify the sport and the energy, because these motherfuckers, I tell my mama this, I'm like, mama, it might be like a low-key, you know what I'm saying, healing, you know what I'm saying, energy that these motherfuckers try to cover up, as well as trying to make it, you know what I'm saying, outside of our low-key, I mean, say, quote-unquote, little payment range or expendable little income to be able to get that experience. You see what I'm saying? But I'm putting all this shit back together. But I'm saying that to say this, but I got these fucking free plays, and that's like $600 worth of this free shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, that's how the shit is playing out, because we've been doing this research. We're figuring out that we the mound builders, and this is how the motherfuckers is going about covering up our shit. But that's what that was like. That was groundbreaking right there, info from the little lady on there.
Nah, she dropping some heat on her, man. We got my brother coming in too, man. Shout out to my brother Akeem T, man. Now the motherfuckers bringing it out. Now a lot of these billies and these honkies are even questioning their own lie. The own lie that they people put out, they challenging that. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's too obvious now. It's like, yeah, you can't even. It don't even sound right trying to lie
Shit, the
about
old lady, she admitted that her great grandmother was getting lied to. Like her great grandmother's great grandparents was fucking like basically deliberately fucking lying to her ass, or lied to them, which caused them to pass down that big lie. We're gonna be talking about a big motherfucking lie in these streets.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man, we got some brownstones here in the city, bro. Them bitches like 300-400 years old. They just always been there. Especially over here on the west side and down on the low end. And the crazy thing, they gentrifying the neighborhoods and shit now, so they deliberately let some buildings and shit go to waste so they can demolish them and rebuild them back up. You feel me? Into new structures and shit, so they can try to hurry up and erase the little bit that's left away and shit. You feel me?
Nah, that's crazy. Them brownstones are some ancient shit, man, and they don't even want to talk about them. They got them all over, man. Most of them they knocked down. Them brownstones in New York, the ones in Jersey, the ones in Chicago, the ones that's in St. Louis, all them bitches be the same architectural design, and obviously constructed by the same civilization, the same group of the people with the same science, man.
On the ley lines, like she broke down on the fucking ancient ley lines.
Right.
Yeah, they all is like particular areas and shit, but like Lakeshore Drive and shit from like 78.
And let's talk about Lakeshore. Let's talk about Lakeshore Drive, because Lakeshore Drive probably was an ancient canal system that they dammed up and then made it a road and shit.
Yeah, that's where the World Fair was at, along that strip leading into a Navy Pier and shit. So like Lakeshore Drive go from like 78 all the way up to the north side into downtown. It's like a connection from the south side all the way to the north side, and with the downtown being in between. And you know, get when you start getting into
They done pretty much built the downtown around the leftover, the 1 or 2 leftover structures that was doing the World's Fair, pretty much, right?
Yeah, I mean Navy Pier, you can still see remains of that shit there that they just like built around and added on and shit. That's why I was naming shit like the Shed Aquarium. It's like a water park and shit now. Well, not a water park, but like a SeaWorld type shit now. But you could tell like the building is still structured how you would see like from the pictures from the World Fair. The same way with the Chicago Museum of Science and Industry. Other museums here as well, you know, the water fountain and shit, you know, all that shit just like always been here and shit. And they been trying to replace them with new structures.
Mind you, this pre-1900s. You know what I'm saying? Motherfucker just coming out of the buggy and wagon stages around this time frame. And you mean to tell me that they constructed all this shit that you see in Chicago's World Fair in 3 years? And it was made of foam and temporary shit? A bridge.
How was we before 1900s? Like, you know, when you say that, you know, that's before trains, planes, and automobiles on the industrial level.
Well, just to put in context, Root, the World's Fair happened in 1890. So at that particular time, you had vehicles, you had a little more in advancement in the industrial age than what you see in the 1840s. You see what I'm saying? But so it's not too far after that. You know what I'm saying? That rugged area. You had the railroad started at that particular point as well in the 1890s.
There you go. So I'm just asking, anywhere in between the 1840s, 50s to the early 1900s, there was a system that was getting destroyed, in my opinion of it, where
it was a system getting my bad, Root. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead, because you're right. Go ahead, brother.
You touching some shit right now, and it is obviously evidence of some shit that they destroyed and shit that they reconverted into what they're calling shit nowadays, what they're occupying and using it for nowadays. So this is obviously evidence of shit of them destroying and reconverting a lot of our old structures. This is war on our structures. 1865, a lot of them structures happened that you see from Chicago to St. Louis to fucking Charleston, South Carolina. They all mimic the same shit. You understand?
But
But
something
some
you
of this
said great
shit
about
here,
Chicago. Oh, my fault. Go ahead, brother.
nah, you good, bro. I'm gonna be quick, man. I was just finna say, a lot of it's shit here though that's older than the World Fair. Like these places was here when the World Fair came. You feel me? And they utilized it during the World Fair and shit. So it's much older than even the credence of them trying to give it to the World Fair and shit. And when you gotta look at like the monumental structures that you see in these pictures and shit, you feel me? Like it was a ton of them. But not only up in Chicago, but like even in St. Louis. You feel me? Like, they destroyed a lot of shit just to build that arch and shit in St. Louis. And if I'm not mistaken, they had a World Fair there as well too, was with similar structures along like the same type of shit. You feel me?
Hey, in Chicago, that Chicago River, is that a big river, the Illinois River?
I mean, we got a gang of river. We got the Chicago River, the
That's what I mean. Is the
Calumet
Chicago
River.
River? Is the Chicago River, is that a halfway decent sized river?
Yeah, it's a decent sized river that runs.
So see, the reason I'm saying that is in the 1840s, all the
Calumet
way up to
River.
sometime in the World's Fair or the World Fair era, people knew how to change a fucking river's direction only in America. Get what I'm saying? So there was a science being destroyed because we was honoring the river systems as our highways. So a lot of them buildings was connected to turning the Chicago River around because that was the way of our highways and everything. And I just think that when we start understanding that these riverways was connected to these buildings and then throw in Chicago, that they said they just knew how to turn the river. How the freak do you turn a river around? But that's just an advancement. I just think of how great our ancient ways was. But I digress.
Nah, man, that's some shit, man. Like I said, man, a lot of this shit is hidden, man. A lot of this shit has been buried. Whether it was done deliberately or was done naturally, they capitalized off of it. And it happened in the 1800s, man. So we're just here to reconstruct. We out here digging up our ancestors' history, literally. You know what I'm saying? We're literally digging up our ancestors' history, man. And people, like I said, get their little pennies in a bunch when we bring these topics out, man. We're more than just some fake story that white people tell you, man. You don't know your culture. Stop saying you're Indian and Aboriginal and you're practicing your culture when most of your culture been buried. And you guys haven't did enough work or done enough to go find it, man. Seriously.
Yeah,
Like
I just seen some crazy shit because I've been visiting my aunties and shit,
right.
On all sides. And the crazy thing about it is like every time I've been having these conversations with them now because I've been asking them about the family records. I want to personally see the pictures that I've been seeing and what I've been told. And, ain't a fucking family member crib I ain't go to where I got an auntie or my grandma. They upper 80s, 90 years old. Women live long in my family and shit. And, the first thing out their mouth is, yeah, my mama was a full-blooded Indian. Not no partial, full. I seen a letter with 2 seals on it. It got a United States seal on it. It had a Choctaw Nation seal on it. 60 acres, Canton, Mississippi. Another one down in Humphrey Counties, Mississippi. You feel me? So the things that I've been speaking about when I was going live and the pictures that I was sent, now I get to see them face to, in live time and shit, and actually get to talk with my peoples and shit, not over the phone, to have real conversations with them and shit. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this shit is real as day. All niggas really got to do is just get to their family and start speaking about the shit. They, niggas just ain't been taking the time to go rap with them and shit. And
right.
Somebody in your family got that shit. You just got to figure out who the fuck it was passed to.
Hey, when we talk about another greatness of some shit that they can't hide, every last rock in the world come from a rock quarry or a rock depot. But when you look, really only in the USA and in the Americas, you'll find the majority of rivers with perfect square rocks by the millions. Millions. On every river.
That's a
Millions.
fact, bro.
That's a fact.
That's a fact, bro.
That's a
And
fact.
just my opinion, you can go from there. If rocks come from a quarry, they're just not going to cut them in perfect shape and throw them in a river. Something happened. But I digress on that point.
No. It was deliberately structured, man. Like I said, you got someone who mastered agriculture, who started mastering their environment, which is the science of ecology. Shout out to Jaguar Omac. They started using and mastering shit like irrigation. So it doesn't sound impossible for them to have some advanced form of irrigation. You see what I'm saying? So once you get into the history of our people, man, like I said, to get a full picture, to get a vivid outlook, to see all the shit that's going to line up that we're talking about, make sure y'all tune in to the pay-per-view this Sunday, man. Return of the American Gods Part 3, me, A1, Jaguar, and it's a special guest. Like I said, y'all gonna have to tune in to see who the special guest is. It's gonna
Hey,
be
send
dope.
me that link.
Man.
I ain't even know about that shit, bro.
Yeah, it's gonna be a dope pay-per-view, man. It's going down.
Send me that link, straight to my line and shit, bro. I ain't even know, I ain't been on here like that, so I ain't even know that shit was coming up.
I got you.
Hey, another thing too about the rocks that Rube was talking about, and anybody that been to Lake Michigan and shit around Chicago, man. And I've been said this shit when I started looking into the world fairs. A lot of the center blocks that they got along Lake Michigan now, it almost looked like they utilized those stone structures and shit and laid them down block by block along the motherfucking river, because we got big ass slabs of stone right off Lake Michigan and shit that run in a line, like they done form like along the shoreline and shit of the motherfucking and shit.
Right,
and
absolutely.
they never erode or none of that shit.
When you be in Chicago, if you ever been to the river, because it's a brick ground, like every city in America, when you came off the river, it was bricks. Whoever our ancestors was built some bricks on the ground. Is that in Chicago too? Like it runs into the river?
Listen,
Yeah, that's what I was just talking about.
I seen some weird shit at the river not too long ago. Like a couple weeks ago, I'm down at the Delaware River, right? So I'm standing like on the little edge, and I'm down a little ways on the little railing, and I'm looking over. I see some piping, like metal piping, going outwards. It's going outwards towards the river. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, that's weird as fuck, and it's inside. I'm like, there's nothing over there. Like, what the fuck is this ancient piping going to? Is this ancient plumbing that they obviously destroyed? You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, man.
Yeah, irrigation.
Yeah, seriously.
But they say it's proof, though, dealing with Chicago. There's proof that before they came over here.
Hold on just a second, y'all. I got a buster in the chat by Free Papu. Go lay down and lick your nuts, little boy. Somebody snipe this little nigga and get this nigga the fuck out of here. All right, back to the shit.
It seemed like there's proof, and I think it's the 1850s or the 1870s. It's one of the two, where there was technology where you could move a big ass river and change its course of direction. Only in America. There's proof of that. So I'm just putting the harmonic or synchronizing what you saying, pipes underground. Every city had sewage passages and some type of little fort or some shit, and we think they're blowing up something, or I just think that we need to understand that us as a people had a technology, and I think it was more harmonic, and it had to deal with water. But I digress.
Well, the New Madrid earthquake changed the course of the Mississippi River. Had it running in reverse for like a week.
And that's documented by Huckleberry Finn. You see what I'm saying? Tom Sawyer's book. When you get into Life on the Mississippi, he wrote about him actually being on the Mississippi. living on the Mississippi. He recorded it, he talked about it, he documented what he had or what he seen from his own perspective of the river changing course and actually started running north.
So that what you're saying with the pipes being underground, I done seen that stuff too being on my kayaks, and I done seen like at the sewer systems. Them sewer systems, you know, there's like pipes that come straight out your city and go directly to the river. And they know how to do something. Y'all just proving that we knew how to have river technology that turned rivers around.
Yeah, we really did. We had river technology. We had ancient mooring technology. We had ancient irrigation technology. We had ancient canoeing and canaling and damming technology. You know what I mean? Certain dams is good for certain areas. When it's oversaturated with water and it's good potential land, you can do that. Or you can use damming to change the flow of water, creating ponds and potential energy sources. So it's different ways that this science has been used, and that's just basic mechanics. That same science has been used in nuclear plants right now. You got to have water, steam, and pressure to be able to launch these nukes. You need it for power. You need it for everything. It's the same system.
The crazy thing about this shit is that if you knock down all the dams, right? Damn near every river and canal eventually flows back into the Mississippi River.
Right.
Now I got a map of that shit that shows how it almost looked like a tree. You feel me? Like you got it, the Gulf of Mexico, the Mississippi River, and the way all the water lines and shit, and it show how this would connect to this one, this would connect to this one, and then when you trace it back, it all going to the river. The dams is the reason why. The damming is the reason why a lot of places water systems is drying up now, because they not being able to get the water source due to these dams and, you know, man-made dams that they made in recent times and shit. And they did that shit deliberately, not to mention redirecting some of that water into lakes that you got right now that's pretty much over a whole town and shit that they flooded out and shit. So, you know, that shit started get tricky when you start following this water and shit, because this water tell a big story.
Now, the water definitely tells a big story, man. Like I said, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I want everybody to thumb up the video, man. I want y'all to also support Aboriginal platforms and Aboriginal businesses. So one of the businesses I want y'all to go support is weare2am.com. Make sure y'all go to weare2am.com and go support the Aborigines, man. Go get you some of that Chief Holiday tuxedo goat merch. Make sure you go get some of that 2 a.m. merch, bout merch coming soon too. I got some other workings coming soon that y'all gonna really appreciate, especially for the Waking Bakers. Y'all really gonna enjoy that, man. Shout out to everybody that tune in and support the channel, man. Make sure y'all support the channel, man. Cash App, PayPal information at the bottom of the screen. Shout out to my brother 111 Truth, man. We got DJ Chief, we got Chief Jonesy on this bitch. We got Root Words, and we got my brother Akeem T, man. I'm going to pass the shit to my brother Akeem T real quick. He been waiting patiently on the panel. Shout out to my brother, man. What's going on with it?
What's up, y'all? I'm shit. Yeah, I was about to touch on the river shit too, because you know, I grew up. I'm in the Philadelphia area. I grew up in. I used to live. You already know. I used to be in the Germantown area though. You know, that's right by the Schuylkill River. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about big ass rocks and shit. I don't know if you ever drove along 76 going towards Center City. If you look to your left, you see where the water breaks. It's like a big ass waterfall.
It's a lot of stacked up big ass blocks right there.
Yeah, like motherfuckers built that. Yeah, motherfuckers built that. If you go down by the Schuylkill River, there's trails. Like he said, but like where bricks, you got some where it's just rocks, or you got some that's bricks. And if you walk on these trails, because me and my little brother used to go hiking on some of these trails sometimes when we was young, we didn't have shit else to do. We used to go down there because we near Germantown. You know, Germantown is a really old, is an old ass fucking area. Most of that shit over there is still brick. When we used to go down there, we used to see like, it's like cancer, like it looked like something, like I don't know if it was a cannon or something blew it the fuck up, but you see like these structures, but it looked like
right. And a lot of these trails they turn into parks, like Fairmont Park. You remember Fairmont Park?
Yeah.
Out in North Philly. Listen. I got the documentation that there was a recording of 72 castles there.
Bro, They turn you know, the penitentiary and shit. It's just
That was
penitentiary in
one
Northeast
of
Philly.
the areas that was used as a living quarters for the Philadelphia World's Fair.
Yeah, bro. They turn a lot of these penitentiary, even in Norristown, where I'm at right now. It's an old ass. It's an old ass penitentiary there. That shit old as shit though. It
Oh
look like
yeah,
a fucking starport. They got that same thing. They got that same thing up in Northeast, up on Torresdale. If you keep going up on Torresdale, you go and see it's a penitentiary. This shit like a fucking castle though. It's a lot of that shit in Philly.
Right.
Germantown got brick ass roads.
They got the jail that's in Philly, not the one that they use now, but if you notice right down from it, they got the old jail, which is a castle. And if you remember the movie Law Abiding Citizen, that movie was shot in the old castle jail in Philadelphia. So man, it's a lot of history going on out there in Philadelphia that they're trying to hire, man. Shout out to the Philly area. Keep it going, brother.
Yeah, they turned a lot of that shit into jails and shit
If
like that. I mean, our penitentiary.
y'all look at whoever our ancestors is.
Hey, let me say this real quick before Root Words get in, man. Make sure y'all go to asteroid.co on Instagram, man. Go get y'all some of that good smoke, man. Go get y'all some smoke, man. Y'all waking bakers, man. Go shop with my boy Asteroid Brands on Instagram. Shout out to my boy Hardline Boss, aka DV Hefe in the chat. Make sure y'all go shop with him, man. Asteroid.co, man. If y'all want y'all good smoke, go hit my mans up, man. Shout out to my boy, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat too, by the way, man. Let's keep it going, man. My bad, Root Words. I just wanted to get that out, man. I gotta promote the brands, man. They got good merch. They got good quality shit, man. You know what I mean? Root Words, you smoking on that mid? Go get you some of that Asteroids. You see what I'm saying? There ain't nothing to it but to do it, my brother. You know what I'm saying? You're breaking up, Root. You're breaking up. Fix that internet.
Can you hear me now?
Motherfucking mid fucking up his signal.
Yeah, that's weird, boy. That's what I'm saying. You gotta get that asteroid, boy.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you there.
I got this map. It's Google Easy though, of the first map of America. I'll just say it like that. Because the first map of America will deal with the foundations, and the only thing you're going to find on the first map of America is the river system. And then you build off the river system with the mountains and the bluffs and the areas. So there's a map.
Have you ever seen a castle? Have you ever seen a castle off a river system, right off a river or a creek?
That's where they're all located.
That's what I'm telling you. Most of the ones that's they used to be on the creeks and the areas to be destroyed. I seen one the other day. I'm riding through like this little creek in Delaware. I'm looking down. We on like a little bridge, and I look down. It's an old brick. I'm talking about, you know, that tan brick, brick, right on the river system. About 4 or 5 old structures. I'm talking about, and there's some rapid water right here. It's a lot of potential energy picking up right there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, damn, man. I just want to just hike down there and just, you know what I mean, do a whole little. I might have to do that one time, man. Shout out to everybody, man.
Hey, there's 85,000 dams in America. 85,000. That holds 20% of America's water. So, like Truth said, if they let go of all them dams, like it says in the Bible, these rivers and America's demographics will change. And every city has at least 3 flood zones.
Right.
Which we don't even understand what that means. It means that area ain't supposed to be there. And whenever them dams bust,
certain areas are real low. They below what they call sea level. You see what I'm saying? And certain areas are above sea level. Areas like where you at, Root Words, in Ohio, high elevated area. Places in Tennessee, somebody just said Murfreesboro. The castles out in Murfreesboro, Memphis, Nashville area. Beautiful, high elevated area. You see what I'm saying? And so certain areas are, you know, high in elevation, even though they might be southern in location, if you understand what I'm saying. They might be southern in location, but high in elevation. Think about it.
But when you look at let me make sure I say this right. When you look at architecture that starts from the foundations and them people that be having them little red dots and level in the ground, every city has a low point like a French drain where all the water drains to. And then it drains to that point, then it drains to the river. After these dams was made, that made more land for them to build on. So they mentally took us out of what our lands used to be by putting houses on these areas made out of wood. But like you said, there's still low points. And all I'm trying to get to is, I'm not taking it nowhere, but the end time so much is coming, the end times as we know it. And if we could put all these stories together, we was the custodians of a highway called the river system that was worldly. And it had underground technology too that got flooded. The underground technology got flooded in these caves and all this stuff where the water would go through its ebb and flow. And now the toilet bowl got flooded, and that's why the oceans and the lakes don't go through their ebb and flow and go through the bull run. And the bull run is when all the rivers went to the Grand Canyons, filled up, and got released back through the world. I digress on that.
And it cleans itself. It's like cleaning. It's like cleaning.
That's all it is, nothing else. It's a natural flow.
Just like a woman's natural flow. Just like a, you know what I mean, good flow, man. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. Shout out to everybody to chat, man.
And what's scary is
there's so many creeks up around this way, bro.
What?
Go ahead, Root. Go ahead, Root.
Nah, go ahead, brother, because I've been talking. Go ahead, brother.
No, I'm reinforcing what you're saying. Like, it's so many creeks up around this way. Like, shit, I be driving trucks and shit. So where I be at, I'm all the way out in Denver, PA, Ephrata, Cocalico, like all these names and shit like that. Like, it's so many big creeks, big ass creeks that connect to big ass rivers. Like you said with the rocks, there's all these rocks along certain parts of it. You know, you see a lot of white folks there. But like how you was talking about how like a lot of the shit is below sea level. Like Philadelphia is really low. Like it's a really, really low area. Most minority communities are in low areas to like sea level. Whereas where I'm at right now, when you go further out in the county, from the city of Philadelphia and PA, you start going in valleys. Everything in PA is a valley. Like is a series of hills. Like I'll show you my phone right now where I'm at right now. And you're gonna see all these hills. You're gonna see hills everywhere you look at. It's big ass hills, but there's a whole bunch of trees on them. But it's just a series of valleys, and they build most of it, like these neighborhoods and towns in the lower parts of the valley. So if it was a dam to break, then a lot of places is definitely getting flooded because a lot of the shit is in the valley areas. But everything in PA is hills, a series of hills. Like when you go up, when you want to eat, when you on 76 or when you on 95 and you on the countryside, you going up and down, up and down, up and down. Everything is valleys and shit like that. Just to build on what you were saying.
And somebody had to make that shit, huh?
It's the same thing with 55. You ride down 55, it's hilly as fuck. Especially when you start getting in Missouri, it's a whole stretch that go up, down, up, down, up, down. You feel me? But another thing niggas need to look into, check out the Grand Canyon of Mississippi.
Thank you for saying that. See,
a lot of people don't know about that. It's still there to this day.
What you're saying, the Grand Canyon ain't even the biggest Grand Canyon in America, USA, and we got over 15 Grand Canyons in America, over 10 in Mexico, over like 40 in South America, like 15 in Africa, like 12 in Europe, like over 100 in Asia. So I'm trying to say them.
Hey, and family, they sleep on Highway 71 that come through Missouri too. That's one of the ones that see they got the motherfucking mountains and shit heading off like on the east side basically of 71. So when you coming down 71 through Missouri and all that shit on the fucking east side, bro, them are fucking mountains.
Yeah, they call it plateaus and shit, but them shits is definitely mounds that they blew up. But like some of the mounds were so hardened at the foundation that they couldn't completely destroy it. You feel me? It took them, like even the mounds they had to destroy to build the arch, it took them hella long to destroy that shit. And some,
do y'all feel that them was
they were so hard and some they were so hardened at the foundation that they couldn't even destroy it, so they just grew grass over it. You feel me? And
Do
try to
y'all
call it a
feel
hill.
that? There's stories that say we fell from Graceland, and I ain't trying to be cocky or nothing, but to me, a mound, when you look at a mound, it has to be a size of a county, or you might not be looking at the right thing, because y'all just said in different areas where there's geometrical, architectural hills. They're not just lumps in the ground. These things have geometrical measurements, and the two that I found is the size of is a horse. That's Google easy, and next to it is a bear. That's 1/4 of Ohio. So what I'm trying to say, I think we entertained the hills more than we think in our era when our ancestors was great. I don't think we always was in the lowland, because every city, the law starts off of the even flow.
Mm-hmm.
That's every city. When you talk about law, it's like, look, we're gonna get the even flow of the river. So I'm just opening up minds to my weird way of thinking, and not aggress though.
Man, shout out to everybody in the chat, man. If you can hear and y'all feeling the live stream, drop a fire emoji in the chat. I'm going to drop the link in the chat one more time. Make sure y'all drop a fire emoji in the chat and hit that like button if you ain't did so, man. Let's try to get up to 260 likes in the building. Shout out to
Let
all
me
the
get
American emojis in
Hey,
here, man.
another
what Free
thing,
Papoose was
motherfuckers need
saying.
to.
My fault. 35 seconds.
Nah,
Free
you
Papoose
good.
was
You
saying,
got it, bro.
when you want to follow history, follow the floods. That's all you got to do. All the floods in America happened in the 1800s, and they started from the East Coast and ended up in the West Coast. Just like all the wars, Free Papoose. It's a timeline of history. It'll make you
Man,
cry knowing that, but I digress.
hey, Free Papoose, man. Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, fam. You's a meat eating ass little nigga, man. Why you in my chat, man? Get your bitch ass on, dude. I thought somebody sniped you. Where my snipers at, man? Snipers?
We
Get this.
been trying though, man. he
Get this.
got shot at least 100 times.
Get this little weenie out of here, man. Get this little weenie out of here, man. Dude, weird.
Hey, I remember I seen rude word in somebody's shit.
Listen, I'm to the point where I got to get rid of troublemakers, trolls, because I'm on good vibration right now. I told y'all I call a truce with all Aborigines. I don't got no beef with nobody.
Hey, I remember motherfucker rude word was in that nigga Turtle Gang shit. They must have sniped like 9 accounts. That nigga came back and was like, yeah, bitch, you can't stop me, nigga. I've been doing this shit for years. Nigga, I was like, hell no. This nigga, they was mad as hell. They couldn't get rid of rude words, bro. Every time they sniped one, he popped up with another like, yeah, bitch, I'm back up in this motherfucker. Hey,
but I know that be,
some
but I know Free Papoose, like, I know I might be a little, if they say a troll, but I'll ask some questions and try to get into a debate. I just don't be trying to come to nobody's channel or platform or on their panel and just start some beef.
Free is just a dick eater. He jealous, man. He a bum. He's a cornball. Like he's a flunky. Get him out of here. He ain't with us.
Hey, boss, some G shit. Everything started going downhill after those 3 major earthquakes that started in 1812. You know, a lot of infrastructure along that waterway was destroyed. Some of it sunk because the river widened, and you know we was in a time of turmoil. So you had 3 of them that was like, the first one was like a 8.7. And then it had thousands of aftershocks running at like 4 and 5s. Then a couple of months later, they had an 8.6 with thousands of aftershocks that ran at like 4, 5, 6.
Sometimes
then they had the third one. Not what you said, bro.
I said sometimes them aftershocks could be worse often sometimes.
Yeah, and those aftershocks was really earthquakes in themselves and shit because they were so strong. And then they had the third one that ran at like a 7.4 that had thousands of aftershocks as well too. And these shocks was felt in the West Coast and the East Coast. You know, they felt the first one in Washington, D.C. So, you know, that shit did major damage and destruction and shit to the middle of the map. and it opened that river, it widened that river up and shit. That's why, like, anybody ever been on the Mississippi River, sometimes you'll see the top of trees and shit hanging out of water during the summertime because the water levels is a little bit low due to the heat. You feel me? Like all that shit. You know, that's why they move in barrages instead of you know, certain boats and ship, because they are fully aware of all the shit that's up under the water and shit that a regular ship can get motherfucking caught on and shit when they shipping up and down that motherfucker. So, you know, a lot of our buildings and shit got destroyed. This was able to put in place a lot of the damming of the water. And this was also, you know, a major reason why it was so easy to get certain people up out of the areas they was at due to that destruction and shit. You know, man, people was fucked up, you know, no matter who you was and shit. If you lived in those areas, those was fucked up times. And we also know that coincide with the war 1812 with the indigenous people here and the United States government. And I believe Britain was involved too, even though they weren't in the same.
Right.
But that's how they was able to get the upper hand up on us and shit.
Right. Now you're absolutely right about that, man. And
hey, can I show something real quick, Power? I don't need
go ahead, man. You got the floor, man.
When we looking at the cave system, just imagine this is a
Hold
cave.
on. Let me zoom you in, because hold on. Professor Root words with the experimental.
When you looking at a cave, it runs under the ground. There's a cave system that runs from East Coast to the West Coast, from Canada all the way down to Mexico. There's just caves on top of caves on top of caves. So just imagine this is a cave, and this is the hill or the mountain connected to the cave. So when you shake this up and shake this up, and you put a cap on top of the cave, or you blow the top of the cave up, that's how you make earthquakes. That's how you make the ground tremble when the water is supposed to go from here and supposed to come out up there, and you stop it up, and then it starts shaking and flooding and flooding. It's simple mathematics when you put the inner earth water with the top of the earth, and then you understand that's how all wars was won for real. They destroyed the underground and the water mechanics of the world, and that's how we get all these earthquakes. And just to get the 1 point, that's what the world is coming to right now.
Right.
My opinion is all the smart people and the people in charge know they got to fix Earth, or it's going to fuck up. So the only way to fix Earth is let the water flow, just like the Bible.
No, she gonna fix herself.
Facts.
They've done. Their fixing was fucking it up. That was their fixing, fucking it up. She's about to fix herself. Shit. I mean, that's in my opinion. Shit. You know that part.
Y'all niggas funny as hell in the chat. I can't even hold it.
That was their fixing, fucking it up. She's about to fix herself.
They ain't on my willow peak, man.
Shit.
I bet you
That's in my opinion. Shit.
I see a lot of
Hey, fam, got to turn that YouTube off in the background.
Yo, y'all niggas funny as hell. Somebody say, yo, this nigga a unicorn. This nigga said that brain distracting me.
Gotta get some laughs out here though, man. Keep the laughs up, man.
Y'all niggas funny as hell, boy.
I'm gonna crack on some of you niggas when I see you niggas. I'm gonna crack on some of you niggas when I see you niggas.
For real, I couldn't even hold it. That shit had me in tears. I ain't gonna lie. Man, shout out to my nigga Al Jameer Bay.
What's going on, fam? What's going on, y'all? I like the conversation y'all having. I just wanted to come through and just build on what y'all was building on, because it's good math. You mind if I read this article real quick?
Knock yourself out, brothers. Are you screenshotting or you just reading?
I'm multitasking, so
do your thing, brother.
This is the source right there.
Put you on the screen for you.
Yeah, you probably put me in the middle, John, or whatever. But
Get camera the other way though.
Okay, let me turn it like that.
Well, there you go.
Okay, so this is from I'm Al Jameer Bay, Moorish American, whatever. I'm out here in Shiekbi, Lenape Hoking. Shiekbi is the actual, real indigenous area for what people colonially call New Jersey, but it's called Shiekbi. Shiekbi is translated to place near the coast or land near the coast. So that's where I'm at in Shiekbi, and I'm on NewJersey.com. And this is basically just, you know, dropping, just talking about what the rest of the panel and Root Words was talking about as far as riverways, waterways, etc., etc., etc. So I'm gonna just read this quick article real quick. It says crystal clear water, largemouth bass found at the end of a kayak trip to elusive source of New Jersey urban water. So this is a new water system that was found at all places, Camden, New Jersey, so-called. If anybody knows anything about Camden,
yeah, that's the hood.
Exactly, it's the hood. Is no bien. So I'm about to read an article that's talking about a new water source that's found in Camden, New Jersey, out the hood. So let's get into this real quick. I don't want to bore family, but Don Bowe said he was staring into a pond recently that was so beautiful, it was hard to believe. It was breathtaking, stunning, clear, said Bowe, president of the Upstream Alliance, a nonprofit environmental advocacy group. You could see largemouth bass cruising around looking for food, crystal clear, clean water. You would think you were in some forested part of Maine or Alaska. It's like, oh my God, is this the Cooper River? In the hood. In fact, it was the Cooper River. Bowe and 15 others, including 4 local students, set off on June 22nd. So this is recently, this is last month. Set off on June 22nd from the city of Camden on a 6-day kayak tour. So this is right up Root Words alley, kayaking, but let's continue it. I had to come on here because this is, you know, it's good information. It's good. I like what you were sharing, Root. So let me finish this article real quick. Bowe and 15 others, including 4 local students, set off on June 22nd from the city of Camden on a 6-day kayak tour to find the source of a river, an urban waterway that had been 40% sewage water 50 years ago, which is not good. Years of remediation after the Clean Water Act legislation in 1970s has led to a renewed river, officials said, which is really good. So Bowe and Camden County officials said that the origin of Cooper River had never been established after boundaries.
1 second, brother. This is a dope ass article, man. Make sure you drop the link to that in the chat whenever you get a chance.
No problem.
You're welcome. Hey. Link in the chat.
Hey, I don't know if I can, but all you got to do is Google, literally just Google or whatever your search preference is, Camden freshwater found. That simple, that easy. I was literally reading the article like last week. I was literally reading the article last week, and then to hear Root talking about it. I mean, Root often talks about this type of info. Thankfully, he's one of the few ones that talks about that variant. But yeah, let me finish this article. So it says Bowe and Camden County officials said that the origin of the Cooper River had never been established after boundaries for many of the 37 municipalities in the county had been set by maps more than 300 years ago in the colonial era. So they're saying that a lot of these exit and entryways hasn't been really set or observed in over 300 years. In over 300 years, and we all know majority of the Europeans came through in the 1800s. In the 1800s, it was just us with a little sprinkle of them with the Latino mix. It was just us. It was just the 3 of us in the 1800s, etc. But finish the article. Bowe said that his expedition along the waterway into a large and very small stream of water eventually led to a densely wooded area in Gidsboro, Camden County, on a property owned by Triborough Sand and Stone Company on South Lake River Drive near Egg Harbor Road. There, he and others, including a National Geographic wildlife photographer, stumbled upon a pond with water bubbling into it which appeared to be an underground water source, Bo said. The discovery was made on June 27th, the sixth and final day of the expedition. And this is some of the students who found it. That's a sister and that's a brother who found upon this, might be an ancient water source, but let me continue this. This is about the Cooper, but it's really the story of many rivers in America, Bo said. I'm hoping that the people understand that there is a hidden gem in their backyards, and also that there is a concerted effort by government, local, state to provide access. I'm hoping that there will be an opportunity for people not to just know it's there, but to go to it. So that's basically it. An ancient river source was found in Camden, New Jersey, and it was likely always known by the Lenape and the Issapat, the Nanticoke, and the other Moors who was here in this area. But as the history goes, shit happened. Information got stripped, misrepresented, and over 300 years, a lot of these rivers in these maps haven't been fully recalibrated. As said back in the article, Bow and Camden County officials said that the origin of the Cooper River had never been established after boundaries for many of the 37 municipalities in the county had been set up by maps more than 300 years ago in the colonial era. So we got to get back to actually exploring these streams, rivers, lakes, and waterways.
Oh, just a second, brother. That's some good information, brother. I just want to allow some other people elaborate. You're so long-winded, brother. Like, woo! Take a deep breath for a little second, man. Let us get in on this good information that you're dropping, man, because irrigation in ancient water systems is something that's always been accustomed to Aboriginal civilizations, going back I want to say 5,000 years ago.
Easily.
You see what I'm saying? At least.
That's light.
That's light. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying going back 5,000 years ago. So this is a custom that has obviously been used and been mastered throughout time. You see what I'm saying? For real, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Shout out to Chief Jones.
So right in y'all hood, right in the hood, ancient water source found. Right in the hood. Nobody even know about it. Over 300 years of people not even knowing about it, or at least it being forgot upon. Right from the horse's mouth. So get back to kayaking, y'all. Get back to going on them streams, them riverways, waterways. Do we actually know the land like we think we know the land?
We're living in a new wave right now, and you're on a stream right now.
Pun intended. That was a double entendre.
You see what I'm saying? You're on Big Aboriginal.
That was dope.
So we're gonna keep the information flowing.
You already know. That's the tide. That's the true wave.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hey, Miss Pratt, you got a lot to say. Listen, the views of everybody on this platform ain't the views of Aboriginal Power. But listen, if you got a question, you're more than welcome to come on a panel, Miss Lady, because we don't do too much chat buffering.
Yeah, get your fat ass up here and come talk, nigga.
Damn, you gonna call the lady a big heifer? Well, bring your ass up here, heifer.
Nah, nigga, she been capping in the chat the whole time, talking about some y'all cracking me
Who
up.
that in the chat talking about people pseudo? Like, how is this information pseudo? Like,
yeah, you reading the actual article that is out there to the public, and you know, like, yeah, bro.
Hot off the press. Hot off the press.
Yeah.
Man, listen, these people be just out here just weird. That's okay. You know what I mean? We're gonna let the weird lady speak. I don't even know who the fuck Miss Prego is. I ain't never even seen you. So you must have came from Sidnetta or one of them little channels that we've been beating up from years. YK the Truth, one of them weirdos. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. Nah, I ain't mad, lady. You don't know
That's all the no smokes.
We'll give you the opportunity to speak unindoctrinated. You know what I'm saying? I'll give everybody on this platform the same opportunity. So don't feel afraid or offended. You know what I mean? Some of these, you can come as with whatever energy you want, man. We welcome all energy. Other than that, you know what I mean? Don't buffer up my chat, man. I don't want to have
all energies matter over this way. All energy matters.
I don't want to have the sniper snipe you because I don't know you, lady. You know what I'm saying? But I definitely give you a learning on some real information, giving you primaries for whatever topic you want to talk about. It's nothing. So, yeah, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat, man. If y'all enjoying the live stream, man, drop a fire emoji in the chat, man. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat one more time. This may be my last time dropping that link, so make sure y'all lock that in. I should
last call for stream, y'all link, nigga.
The doors of truth are open. The doors of truth are open. You know what I'm saying?
Right, man. Shout out to everybody out there, man. We've been dropping this hot heat, man. We on a consecutive days, man, running with this information, man. Shout out to everybody, man, that's tuning in. Make sure y'all tune in for tomorrow's live stream. Will be some dope information being displayed. And don't forget, man, we have a pay-per-view coming up, man. American Guys Part 3. Taunching this one, me, Jaguar. We will have a special guest also bringing information. So make sure y'all tune in and support that as well, man. Shout out to all the American Aborigines. You want to support the channel? Cash App, PayPal information at the bottom of the screen, man. Make sure y'all drop them fire emojis if y'all enjoying the live stream, man. We got Chief Jonesy on here. We got Algebra Bay. We got Rudy Root, Money Bag Root. And we got my man 111 Truth Searcher. Money Bag Root. Why you pull out them stacks on my man the other day like that?
I've
never
you
did that.
Hey man, I'm a brother of the struggle, man. Been on YouTube and said I was broke.
I'm saying, what made you just pull out your stacks on that, man?
Nah, because people be saying I'm broke and I don't got a girlfriend. I'll be like, look, man, we can go whatever you want to go with. Now my car might not be as bad as yours, but we can go car, crib, whatever. But I don't be on that shit though, because everybody done went through the struggle before, so I don't be on that. All that shit. But if you talking about I'm broke, but let's see.
Big
fact. You broke now.
That's right. Big fact.
Nothing else.
Just matching energy, basically. You just matching
match
energy.
the energy. Because where I'm from, nigga, you pull out any type of money, a motherfucker try to stick you up for that shit. I don't do that shit in real life. A woman to try to come get it off you, or a man will, so you keep that shit to yourself. But when a nigga calling you broke, you like, hold the fuck on, nigga, chill out. That's all you call. That's all I can say.
Hell yeah, these little niggas out here will rob your ass, nigga, on that stunning shit. Nigga, I'm broke, baby.
Hell yeah, niggas ain't never saw New Jersey Drive.
Yeah, New Jersey Drive, a decent ass movie, man. It's a decent ass movie. But yeah, man, y'all niggas be going back and forth. What's up with you and Bat Creek? Why you be triggering him like that? Stop coming in here disrupting my friends and their bills, bro. Root words. What you be doing? That's some
One thing
bullshit.
I can say, you can say when I come on the panel, I don't start it. I stick to the subject. Like just now, I'm sticking to the subject with whatever you write in that goddamn is on your screen. When you say the show gonna come on, I'm gonna stick to that.
Hey, Miss Prego. Like my man True said, if you ain't gonna get on the panel, get your fat ass out my chat then.
Hey, Rue, you got something they ain't got though, bro. You got 2 kayaks, my nigga. We ain't got those.
17 kayaks.
I got 29 kayaks.
29, my bad.
Damn, my bad.
Yeah, that's money bag roots. You know what I'm saying? I think
no, it's not. It's about to be a church, man. It ain't money bags, man. That shit ain't shit. If you ain't got, like you say, if you ain't got equity or doing the shit that we learning on We learning, man. This little $3,000, man. People make that in a month.
So you passed the route too? You about to get you a church? This going fucking down.
Don't get stuck up like the pastor did yesterday on live.
Man, that was the funniest shit. I went to do a show on that shit, but
yeah, that shit crazy. I don't even know if that shit real or not, but
different people, man.
If that nigga was able to get robbed for, if that nigga had $400,000 to $1 million worth of jewelry to get robbed, he deserved that shit.
Stop. Creflo Dollar done exposed every motherfucking preacher that they are misleading motherfuckers with the tithes. That means that y'all been proverbially stealing. So that means motherfuckers y'all are about to be in public number one. Y'all getting out that free ass money every motherfucking week, and the biggest motherfucking preacher on this motherfucking side of the fucking West.
The
game. Just imagine if I was pulling out like
the whole game rigged.
Down there to Pastor Root Church, he gonna teach you about kayaking and goddamn shit like that. You ain't
gonna be tax exempt. Huh?
That's the key. That's the key right there.
Man,
I'm telling everybody.
Like I say, man,
that's the key.
If that nigga had $400,000 to $1 million worth of jewelry, bro, he deserved to get robbed. Fuck that.
No, what I'm saying
and
is,
his wife.
Just imagine.
That's what I'm saying, bro. It's an op.
Me and Back Creek was out here talking shit, and he said, "You broke ass nigga." And as soon as I pulled out $3,000, I was like, "What, nigga? I got money." A nigga pulled out and laid me down on YouTube. Y'all wouldn't. I would laugh at a nigga as long as he ain't get harmed.
Go ahead with your bad self, Pastor Root.
So what I'm saying is that pastor was in there like, oh, I know everybody don't have faith in God. God has let everybody down. 10 seconds after he did that in front of his congregation, man, 4 niggas ran up in that bitch, man. That's the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life, bro. Nobody.
I guess God let him down.
God told them motherfuckers specifically, don't come to this church. I will sneak up on your ass like a thief in the night. Goodbye.
Man, I think that shit was a play. Peep game, right? If his congregation already gave him so much money that they had $400,000 to $1 million worth of jewelry, who's to say he didn't set that shit up because he know the congregation, they gonna be eager to give more now for what they lost. So the niggas probably let them niggas, yeah, they insurance purposes. The niggas that did it, they probably know them. They probably getting they cut on the back end with that. Then on top of that and shit, the congregation and shit gonna pour in more money and shit, bro. So that shit sound like a play to me.
I would not put it past it for it to be organized like that. I would not. In this day and age, man, I don't trust not a thing anyway. So you feel me? You can't pull the one over my eyes.
Was they all masked individuals? Was they masked individuals?
Came up because when them 4 niggas came in there, the preacher naturally got on the ground, but them 2 bishops that was sitting behind him sat there like, nigga, you ain't doing nothing to me. I'm a gangster. So you
nigga, I'm broke. You ain't got nothing to... Nah, nigga, I'm broke, nigga.
Yeah, like, no, they didn't even budge.
Hold on. I'm kind of lost in the sauce because I didn't know what the fuck y'all was talking about. I ain't gonna lie. I was about to cut y'all niggas off. But now, so y'all saying that the first Sunday movie reenactment happened in real life? A nigga robbed the church?
Oh, God.
Yes, on Facebook Live.
A nigga robbed the church on Facebook Live?
Yes.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yes.
On live,
and him and his wife.
After he said, we need faith in God. Right after, like 2 words after it, he was on the ground, my nigga.
That was the signal right there. As soon as they heard that, nigga, they
faith in God, that was the trigger word. Faith. Let's go in.
Damn, how much did they get off from niggas?
Like, they said somewhere between $400,000 to $1 million worth of jewelry off him and his wife, and they left in one of their luxury cars too.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my God.
Smooth come up.
Hold on, I'm about to play the video.
I'm about to play the video.
I ain't gonna lie, I don't even think them niggas one of us. I think they some Africans and shit. That shit got African written all over it.
I would not be surprised, man. You never know,
but
man.
Watch when you see the gangster bishop behind, and the gangster bishop like, I believe in God, or this is set up one of the 2, nigga. I ain't moving. Fuck y'all niggas. He was on some gangster shit. Like, nigga, I ain't budging. That shit. And they said there was over 60 people in there. That was some wild
That's
shit.
prophecy. Where, as you already know, you remember where you remember dudes was chasing Noble Drew Ali around the Moorish Shines Temple with a knife, and the Moors was just watching him getting chased with a knife. So You feel me? Niggas been cowardless over a century. So
is there footage of this shit?
Yes, this bitch. Yes, hell yeah.
Live footage.
Yeah, this shit just happened a couple of days ago.
We about to get to it. I need everybody to mute up, man. Let's get right into the live motherfucking action, man. Let's watch this pastor get robbed at gunpoint. I mean, I ain't saying it's a good thing or nothing, but let's watch this shit. Fuck it. We here for we here for the bullshit. Let go.
Robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service was being a Brooklyn bishop was robbed at gunpoint in the middle of his Sunday sermon today, and it was all caught on camera. The service
Hold
was
on,
being
bro. Somebody got to mute up.
3 to 4
Somebody
men
need to mute up.
guns. He spoke at length with CBS 2's Lisa Rosner about why he believes he was targeted and his message for the suspects.
5 to 10 minutes into preaching Sunday morning on Remsen Avenue in Canarsie, Bishop Lamore Whitehead saw the door in the back of the room kick open.
How many of you have lost your faith because you saw somebody else die what you about to go through? Yo. All right. I seen 3 to 4 men come in. I said, all right. It's pretty much stating that I'm not going to do anything, right? Because I know y'all coming for me. Y'all coming straight to me. I don't want my parishioners hurt, right? I got women and children there. As I got down, one went to my wife and took all her jewelry and had the gun in front of my 8-month-old baby's face. Took off my bishop's ring, my wedding band, and took off my bishop's chain. And then I had chains underneath my robe. He started tapping my neck to see if anything else. So that means they knew. They watched and they knew that I have other jewelry.
The church's live stream shows the gun being held on the pastor.
They had the guns on my deacons that was at the door.
Whitehead says what you don't see on camera are around 100 congregants who were in the room. Men, women, and children dropped in silence.
My church is traumatized. The women and children are still crying. Still crying. Babies are still crying.
Police say the men took off in a white Mercedes. Whitehead says cops have a license plate and witnesses saw the men change clothes outside.
These men, they need to turn themselves in. I forgive you, and I'm praying for you. You know,
look at the bishop.
Hope that God deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time. Oh, and I hope
Bishop really chilling like a motherfucker though. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Told you
we can't see it because the video zoomed in, so at least I couldn't see it. Like I saw the video, but it's too zoomed in, so nobody probably actually saw what I did.
Deliver you from the mindset of who you are at this time.
Whitehead believes his family was targeted because of the publicity he received when he helped turn in the suspect wanted in the fatal subway shooting of 48-year-old Daniel Enriquez in May.
I turned them in, but the media called me the bling bling bishop. They had my Rolls Royce car all over everywhere, and I feel that played the part in this. I think all pastors should be able to get permits for pistols.
The NYPD is investigating, and Whitehead says the mayor and top police brass have called him, pledging support to find the suspects. Fortunately, no one was hurt. In Canarsie, Brooklyn, Lisa Rosner, CBS 2 News.
In a statement, a spokesperson for Mayor Adam.
Man, that's one of them drill music niggas, the ones that be dancing in them New York.
Pop Smoke. He from Canarsie.
Nigga, that was Philly OG in the game, bro.
Them niggas getting sturdy. Them niggas got sturdy after this motherfucking dancing around that motherfucker after that. Woo-wee, that.
100 people there.
Old AP back when I was a goblin would have got in. I would have loved to get in on that little lick.
Shit. Fuck that preacher, I swear.
Yeah, for real. God damn.
I just think that bishop was gangster. If it wasn't a setup, because that bishop making sure it looked like a little something mysteriously went on, bro. I feel 111 truth on that one, though.
Hey, man, for real, man. Listen, we about to wrap this thing up. This was a dope-ass live stream, man. Shout out to everybody in the building for coming through, man. Shout out to Root Words, man. Chief Jonesy, 111 Truth Searcher, man. Shout out to my man Aljamir Bay. Shout out to all the American Aborigines in the chat as well. Hey, man, make sure y'all support the channel before y'all get out of here, man. Don't just leave out without supporting the channel. Make sure y'all support the channel. You feel me? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit that notification bell. You feel what I'm saying? All that good shit. Thumb up the video. Like I said, man, it's very, very important for you guys to thumb up the video. Support the channel, man. Shout out to everybody in here, man. Make sure y'all support the Aboriginal movement. Yeah, the only way it's gonna work unless we all support, man. Grab a hold of something and support. You understand me? With that being said, man, shout out to everybody in the chat. Make sure y'all be safe. Make sure y'all be aware. Make sure y'all be vigilant. Make sure y'all be dangerous. It's your brother Aboriginal Power. We out, y'all. Peace.
Whatever it takes. Remember the word stream. Alleyway. Stream.
Coco, this your season right now.
They won't see me. They won't let me hear. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them They won't see me. Yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the strap. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling deep my stomach, paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them They won't see me. Yeah. I put attention, all in my blood, all in my veins. They started with Perky, now that hair right up his veins. You started with serving, now them drugs drove you insane. Started with dealing, I grew up with killers, they taught me the game. I got some niggas that die behind, and that shit won't never the same. I know some niggas that lie behind, and that bullet had his name. Ain't no reason to cry about, cause that shit won't never change. MTF the 4th and P, my niggas can't get out the game. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I won't let them They won't see me. Yeah. I gotta sleep with one eye open, tripping, making me nervous. I take a piss, my hand on the stern. I know the eyes wanna murder. I got a feeling, keep my stomach paranoid. Yeah. I can't let them